change, and what's changing? What's happening in the Conquest game?
Yeah, so we've got a brand new upgrade to a fan favorite system from last year. And that system, my friends, is the spirit totems and the shaman camps.
Okay.
So what are we
An
doing?
upgrade.
Well, now, well, I guess let's talk about what they did before. So previously, when you kill these back camp replacements, they would put different totems into your various camps. You could select the totems, pick different enhancements for your buffs.
Correct.
Now, what you can do with them is
That's
at a certain
interesting.
point they would despawn. You'd finish going through your cycle and be done. Now, the cycle continues. It repeats, and they get stronger and stronger and stronger each time you kill them.
Yeah, up to 3 levels of these new totems.
Bro, if they just made it so the enemy teams wouldn't upgrade if you killed it, this would literally be the best system in the game.
To back harpies. So you'll still have a back harpy camp at the start of the game, and then after that, it'll be constant shaman camps from there.
Like, if you go kill the enemies first,
you upgrade your buff.
shaman camp spawn,
Incentivizing that you continue to get
they
on
should have to
top of
respawn that first one again. There should be some incentive. Because it's actually worse to go clear out the enemies because you get no farm for it, and you progress their
I guess you want to get into
their upgrade system.
Well.
Like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, so let's talk about, before we even get into like the totems themselves, and talk about a couple of fun little invade rules.
Okay.
So one of the biggest contention points, I guess, over the system in the past is that it's really fun to be able to pick your buffs, but it's not necessarily so intuitive when you invade somebody's camp.
I just said this.
Yeah.
They still get like the reward from it, essentially. You just get the golden experience of their camp. But now it works a little bit differently, where you can actually steal their totem now. And in that case, you know, if you were to take one of their totems, they would technically miss that totem in the rotation, and it would continue onward. Like, let's just say it goes red, blue, yellow. If you steal their blue, it's gonna go to yellow immediately, and then you'd need to wait for the next red before it turns into blue again. So lots of different new tactics that you can do.
So
now
there's
that the
actually
invade
a
is on the
worthwhile
table for
camp
these
to
camps.
invade, like
So,
a blue.
it's going to be really nice to be able to see a little bit more macro play. We're hoping to encourage people to really
Wait, so I
want
have to
to play
clear my
around these
backs
guys
now, actually?
and defend them on their own side,
Don't
and
worry, I'll get
possibly
them.
invade them
Don't
on
worry
the
about it.
opponent's side.
Can't leave them for the enemy jungle to get my totems.
Don't worry about it. That 13-minute second shaman camp isn't to worry. I'll be farming them.
Good with the blue buff totem, and they want the extra CDR. Every time that's up, you can see it coming up on the map. You can go and invade that, and you can contest it. As well, on the receiving side, if you're getting invaded, you can tell your team to group up on this because we want this next camp. So it's another contention point on the map for people to fight over. We just want to get people into the combat as much as possible and reward them for doing so.
Yeah, I like that too. Like
This
that was my
alone
first thought
cannot
was,
make
oh,
this a
man,
bad
like,
patch
this team
notes.
is
This
really,
alone
really
makes it so
powerful with
invading
the
is
red
better,
buff. Like,
and
you're
that just
gonna
makes the
really
game
be
more
like, all right,
fun.
red buff is coming up. First priority, prevent them from getting it.
That's right.
What a cool additional layer for strategy. So awesome. So I guess, like you said, these kind of power up.
I wonder
as
what
the
it
match
upgrades,
continues to
though.
Cycle. So how does that power up work?
Yeah, I guess let's start with an example. Let's start with the Azure Totem.
Okay.
So this is the cooldown reduction
That's
totem.
useless.
And as you can see here, each time you get it, the first time you get it, you're going to start with the 10%, go up to the 12.5, and
That's
then 15
useless.
after
Wow.
3
So only the
cycles
tier
throughout
1
the
matters.
So, for example, if you got D2 first,
That
blue
is
ones,
fucking
you could take
busted.
The 10%, they wouldn't get their 10% at all, and then you could get
Actually, maybe not
upgraded
busted,
to
but that's
12.5
very
by taking
strong.
theirs. So you're already at tier 2, they're still at tier 0, or they don't have one yet,
Exactly.
which is really cool. So yeah, this is the same way for each of the totems. So the yellow one, the golden spirit totem, will be 5 penetration and 5% penetration. The percent penetration, as you can see in the lower third here, isn't scaling because that would be very, very strong.
be
to
very
have it scale,
strong, yeah.
But the flat penetration does. So 5 through 7, and then 10 for each tier respectively.
And it's important to keep a note as well. By the time you're getting to these tier 3s, it's going to be a little bit later in the game.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So
Unless you're stealing them all the time.
yes, if you're stealing them very frequently,
I mean, if
then
you
it's gonna be
go
really nice because you can upgrade kind of to the tier 2
Divine
right away. If you
and
get the
Deso now, and then
back-to-back
you get
ones,
this,
which is
that's
really,
40
really fun
pen, which
to
is
be able
insane.
to kind of push that advantage because you're getting a very significant lead if you're going to be able to get those totems to their next rank way sooner than your opponent.
Yeah, what a crazy thing to think about too, how you can snowball that. So yeah, and it just seems like each of these, like you said, have those 3 levels.
Yep.
So if you're in your
I mean,
own
this one's
jungle
just
farming your
value.
own stuff, it's gonna take a while because that's 12 camps. That's
Yeah, you gotta
12
go through a lot
2.5
of
attack
them.
speed
First
and
one,
5%
yeah,
attack speed
it's
matters.
a slow rolling ball,
2.5%
but if you're
cooldown
able to
and
be
5%
aggressive, if you
cooldown
push
doesn't
that
change
lead,
anything.
Taking their camp. Yeah, that's
It
gonna be
also-
pretty crazy.
Yeah, and it encourages you to be on time for that buff.
That's
as well. If you just leave it
probably the
sitting up,
best
not
one.
only are you risking somebody else coming to invade it and stealing it from you, but if it's just sitting up, it's not being killed, and that's delaying the subsequent spawns as well. So you want to be there as soon as possible, kill it as soon as possible, or invade as soon as possible, and just get them upgraded as soon as
Because this is
possible
getting
throughout the game.
50% more
That's
lifesteal.
there.
And each of these different levels
getting
have
5
visual
flat
effects
pen,
associated with
getting
them as well, where you'll be able to
just
tell,
50%
you
more
know, if you
lifesteal.
look in your camp and you see all of the totems there, you know, if they have a certain level of effects, you'll see
getting
if you
extra
have a level
5
2,
pen
looks a little bit, you know, more important,
awesome.
more shiny, more special, and then level 3, it's like the most special. But yeah, as you can see there from before,
and then green's
the
overpowered.
violet one was attack speed, and then here we have the verdant
So,
one, which is max health and mana.
tanks
And
should be
eventually, you know, that
green
gets to scaling
late
up
game.
really, really nicely for the late game.
And I'm pretty
So
sure
some of these
every
will
other
scale a
role
little bit better than
takes
others.
red.
Some of these will be more important to focus on for your early game. But again, we are just really excited to see what kind of macro play comes out of this, and if people really enjoy the system, we'll keep an eye on it and make sure that it's feeling good.
Yeah, excited to see it, and excited to see the little verdant green mask there, because I love like ever since the mask came out, I love their design, and yeah, verdant's definitely is my favorite. So cool. So you know, those all rolled across the bottom of the screen.
Nah, no change
if you
to
had, you know, missed one or have a question about any of them, make sure to check out the patch notes. Should be live right now.
I hope they do,
have
but
all
I
this
assume they
info,
don't.
obviously, so you can follow along and, you know, see all the numbers we're talking about. But last but not least, one last little change for Conquest. Looks like back harpies just have a change with their debuff.
That's right. Yeah, same area of the map we're talking about. It's the back harpies that then get changed into the shaman.
Oh, so this is just for solo laners. They just get to lane
we're
faster.
Taking away the attack speed debuff.
You love Smite patches? I love Smite patches.
It's blocking some solo lane gods or some gods from being able to play in the solo lane, because certain gods, like, good example is like Osiris, right? Clears that back camp with no worries at all.
Yeah.
Doesn't even normally get to 2 stacks of that attack speed debuff on itself. But say a Guardian like, I don't know, Sobek, if you wanted to play Sobek solo, you're just sitting there hitting that forever, and there's attack speed buffs are stacking up on you.
Yeah.
So the good clearing gods already didn't have to worry about this. The bad clearing gods were getting punished extra. So we're just removing that attack speed buff, so it should make it easier for those Guardians or just
that was a little annoying
gods to be able to play in that lane or just clear that camp.
Yeah, just to stay competitive with it.
That's right.
So that makes a lot of sense.
Exactly.
Cool. All right, well, that's Conquest. Next up, we're talking about Duel.
That's it.
Now, for those of you who have followed the show, you know that Duel has varied its bans quite a lot this year so far. A lot of back and forth in this and that. But we're doing it a little differently this time. What's going on with the bans here, Lermy?
Yes. So finally, after what feels like, you know, a several-month-long experiment, we had a really good time with our ban system. But coming up in this patch, we are removing the ban system and going to everybody is back
Unleashed.
in Duel.
It's a free-for-all.
Unleashed, if you will.
On her.
But essentially, we were really happy to see, you know, the experimentation coming out from, you know, incorporating a ban list into this mode. But I think overall, we haven't seen any data kind of showing that it has impacted the mode positively or negatively. It's kind of just stayed the same. So in general, our methodology here is that we want to encourage players to feel a little bit more free to try things and do things, especially as, you know, we continue to do these exciting changes. You know, some of the gods that are getting changed in patches just aren't allowed in Duel.
Yeah.
So they don't get to have the fun time with their brand new changes, and that has been really sad. Also, it's going to be very interesting to see with some more upcoming stuff that we're going to be talking about soon, if, you know, the meta changes a lot. So ideally want to give the Duel players as much freedom as possible, especially with the upcoming changing systems that we'll talk about very soon.
That's right, yeah. It's a mid-season update, so we have a lot of changes. That means a lot of gods get changed. We just want to allow players to be able to play their gods. If there's a high demand,
this is the mid-season patch
in some shape or form, we can certainly do that.
Exactly.
But for now, you're unleashed.
You are unleashed. So for those of you who's been affected by the ban list and your favorite's been locked behind that wall, go nuts. So we're moving away from game modes now into the world of items. And let me tell you, there are a lot of items. If I had to choose a spot, they were chefing. It was items this time around. So one of my favorite things, obviously, is, you know, I look at all of the notes and I format the patch notes, so I get to see a lot of this beforehand. And we're going to talk about a lot of items here, but under the word item balance, there is just one item. And I thought that was really funny. It's not item balance plural, it's item singular balance. So before we move into the funky stuff, the crazy stuff, how about we talk about item singular balance with Eye of the Jungle?
Yeah, the Eye of the Jungle is the one item that we're going to be balancing in the entirety of the mid-season patch, guys.
This
is it. This is the only
We're
one.
actually done after this.
So essentially, we'll get into why this is the only one in just
You're
a couple of
addicted to
seconds
this
here,
item.
but let's talk about Eye of the Jungle first. So
Poseidon's gonna be
ever since we did a little
schmoovin'.
switch up to remove
I'm
attack speed
farming.
from Eye of the Jungle, put it on mannequins, Eye has fallen pretty clearly behind in terms of its popularity. It doesn't really have a super unique home at this point. It doesn't do sustain better than Bumba's. It doesn't do damage or protections better really in any way. So what we wanted to do here is give it a very new, unique effect that still plays around this in the jungle mechanic. So now while you're in the jungle, you will be able to rotate a little bit faster between your camps.
Awesome.
Your
that's
ganks,
what I need. I need junglers moving faster between lanes.
Yeah, we hope this is a fun one. Do something different in the jungle. Get some movement.
They actually added my dog to Smite.
Game. So if you're level 3 and the enemy jungler is level 2, you would be moving 3% faster than they are.
I don't get
Just
it
by
because
having this item, you'll be.
I don't know it. Lucy,
so
but
you can actually have in the jungle. Yeah. So if you're chasing someone through the jungle, you'll have a fairly big advantage when it comes to either running away or chasing after them. Yeah.
Yeah, and super handy. It's one of those things that you're like, oh, 3%. You know, what does that mean? But you really feel it when you're
level advantage.
Yeah, when you're going to help.
You'll
cover
feel
a
it
lane,
early
going
game.
To
Late
game,
game, it's
returning from
diminishing
the gank to
returns
go
a little
back to
bit.
farming. There's just a lot of utility in that.
Or mid game, I guess I should say.
Cool. That was item balance singular. Now let's get to the lot of stuff. So I guess we're gonna dive right into it. Y'all might have seen this on Tier Tuesday. But we're talking Tier 2s today, and we've got a lot of them. So how about y'all guide us into this? What brought about the changing of the Tier 2s?
Tier 2s.
Yeah, so we were brainstorming what our big beat could be for this patch, and we were going through the ages of Smite Pass and saying, what are things that people have previously liked? What are builds that we haven't been able to explore lately? What's kind of the limitations that are on our item system right now, and how can we, kind of break that a little bit in some ways? Not like in an OP sense, but kind of just in ways that we can make it new and fresh.
Interesting.
And fun. So one of the things that we felt that we had previously utilized a lot that aren't really as utilized anymore, maybe like 2 or 3 items, are Tier 2 items.
There's not a single Tier 2 item that's utilized.
They are a very interesting spot in terms of power spikes, in terms of when you get them,
Tier
why you buy them, etc.
Kind of comes in and out.
And we just wanted to make that more fun. So essentially, our goal is to kind of adjust the importance of your power spikes when you're getting them, how you're getting them, and then differentiating the build pass that you can go into, and having fun little mini games to play as well for all of your Tier 2s. So we're adding new Tier 2 items, passes to existing Tier 2 items, and a lot of balance to them across the board.
All right.
That's essentially the TLDR, but let's get into the specifics, shall we?
All right, yeah. Well, TLDR over, specifics it is, and we're starting off in the physical branch of Tier 2 items. So, I guess there's nothing to do but dive right in. So first up in the physical tier, we have Bound Gauntlet.
Yeah, so you'll kind of see that as we go through, there are going to be kind of 2 areas of Tier 2 items, where some Tier 2 items are going to have really cool, unique new things that are going to be,
I think this is useless.
Center of attention. Like,
this
these guys are
nerfs
going to be
the
really
item.
cool and new and fun. And then there's ones that are kind of more inline, kind of along that starter item kind of pathway, where we want to kind of keep in
200
mind
gold
that,
to the item for a pretty
we
useless
want that power
passive.
curve to be a little bit smoothed out between items. And Bound Gauntlet is a great example of one of those items, where its passive is very similar to its upgrade Soul Eater. And I think we can go into game as well to see a couple of those changes in the trees themselves. So as you'll see here, trees looking a little bit different.
Just a smidge.
Just a little bit different. So we're talking about Bound Gauntlet here. So this item in particular is now gaining an extra bit of ability healing.
That's right. Yeah, it's a very mini version of
pretty bad.
What it builds into.
On my cam.
But you could, is this 1250? You can easily start this in any of your game modes as well. So it makes you think about that as well. We'll probably mention that a lot.
It's such bad stats. You're never really starting
it. This is a simple one. It is a price increase because it is
same total cost, and you underrate the healing.
Being able to buy this and instantly get healing from your abilities.
If you do 1,000 damage, you heal for 40 health.
Stacks on the Tier 3 just makes the curve a lot smoother, and you can make.
You're better off getting HP 5 than you are getting this.
Awesome. Yeah, and I feel like that's gonna be very thematic of this update. Is like this changes the way that you can approach building these Tier 3 items by getting the passives you want ahead of time. So
and some of them you could hold on to the Tier 2 for a little while because maybe you just wanted a little bit of that, not the whole Tier 3's worth. So you can hold on to it until you want more of the ability lifesteal later, and you could move on to a different Tier 2 and a different one if you wanted to, or a different Tier 3. So you'll have a lot more to think about.
Talking an example shows how bad it is.
Ideally, the Tier 2s are not going to be stronger than the Tier 3s themselves, but they are going to be nice holdovers or nice little things to have in the kind of middle of building these items. So, ideally, they're still feeling like Tier 2s, but
it felt like a decent spike whenever you backed with like 1,000 gold because it's just 20 power and a little bit of lifesteal.
Well.
Yeah, so one big change that you'll be seeing here just from the visual of the tree is that Curse Gauntlet now builds into Crimson Claws in addition
does Crimson Claw
to
lose attack speed?
and Blood Forge, so that's a new addition to that side of the tree.
The same thing?
On top of that, the cost is going down by 100 gold from 1,400 to 1,300, and the lifesteal is going up. So a little bit more advantage in terms of stats and cost efficiency there for Curse Gauntlet, but not too much else is changing there for that guy. But one more thing we have to talk about in this tree is Blood Forge.
I'm in the tree.
And this item is just a little bit underpurchased right now, a little bit hard to buy into.
But this item's even
kind of
cheaper.
Fights a little bit with Devos, where Devos has the pen, but this has the nice shield and extra power if you want to go for that more expensive price spot. So we're bringing it down
more
just
power.
a bit.
Pretty sure it's the same power.
More ability to go into this item should you choose to.
Yeah, from 2,600 down to 2,500, so just a little more buyable than it was before. And this is a really fun item as well, so we want to see more people
That's
kind of
super cheap.
We'll keep an eye out, obviously. With all of these changes, there'll be a lot of cost changes. We'll keep an eye on things, see how it shakes up the meta, and see what people are building. You know, Bloodforge generally kind of an assassin item, but we've seen it on Hunters too as well. A really fun one that can get you snowballing, so we want people purchasing it rather than just, you know, Devos or even the occasional Crimson Claw sometimes.
Yeah.
But as well, you know, there might be more people buying Soul Leader now that has the upgraded tier 2. So
why is Crimson Claw the most expensive item in that tree?
Yeah, it gets to be shaken up a little bit. Well, to jump trees, we're going to talk about bows now, and it looks like short bow is next up on the list for changes.
Yeah, this one's a
Stormseeker cost nerf.
There, we're going from 650 to 550 on the tier 1, and you'll kind of see why later. But this is exceedingly cheap for a number of reasons. So kind of the whole reason we kind of ended up here was charged bow was kind of the talking point when it came to the adjustments that we wanted to make for this tree. Is charged bow is a really interesting item because it does kind of do the like golden shard equivalent of like helps you clear the lane. You know, not too crazy for poke, but it is something that can help a low clear physical.
This used to be 60%.
And we were like, that's really cool. Let's kind of lean into this a little bit more. So what we've done here is we've taken the cost down quite a bit, but also we're taking the power level of the proc down quite a lot on charged bow itself. Odysseus bow, still the same that it was before. That has not changed. But charged bow specifically has taken a power hit and a cost hit. So if you want to get this early, get a little bit of extra clear in the jungle, ADC, solo, any of those roles in particular, you know, you could opt for this item, help you on some of those lower clearing gods.
Yeah, what we saw a lot was, especially when we moved
big nerf.
Golden bow, what was it called?
Golden Blade?
That one. We removed that one, but we have the shard that you can use instead.
Yeah.
Shard didn't quite make up for Golden Blade, but a lot of people were buying tier 2 charge bow plus Golden Shard. That together will make up for it. So we're bringing that price down so you can get the shard for free, obviously.
Yeah.
And then charge bow for just 1,000 gold, and then boom, you got your AoE clear for the jungle. So we saw a lot of Kalis, a lot of Nemesises, Bakasura, and even some like Mercuries if you wanted to do these.
No way anyone is actually building this item.
Arachne was a big one as well. So now it just becomes that little bit more accessible, but the power came down with it as well. So
it's more accessible, but it's worse.
Just enough to be able to clear those side camps. That's what you wanted it for, alongside the Golden Shard, like I said, and then you can upgrade it to Odysseus bow either at the start of the game or way later. You can just hold on to that tier 2 for that clear. Yep.
Pretty sure you auto for like 60 in the early game.
The gold economy around, you know, changed the ability to access these items. Really fun to see.
It's doing like 20 damage. The old one was 15 plus 30%.
Yeah, so this is I guess we can start with Hunter's Bow here. We'll talk about what changed about Hunter's Bow, then we'll talk about why it changed, because it goes into a little bit of a more holistic approach. But Hunter's Bow here is getting an increased cost by 50, so not all that much, but it
removing
is
the percent pen,
a little bit of penetration, just 5 flat physical penetration.
Big buff to tier 2 Addis for Oceans.
Why are you putting flat pen on this tier 2? Well, I'll tell you, it's Stormseeker. That's why. So this is kind of an interesting shift here to Stormseeker. The price is going up quite significantly, about 200 gold, but it's also getting a power increase, and it's adding 10 physical penetration as well. So we had a lot of discussions around this item. It definitely was performing a lot better after the last buffs, but we felt like one of the biggest core things that we missed on our initial push of Stormseeker into the game was that these early game bridge items do not feel good keeping them forever throughout the game, even if they scale up to a million billion attack speed. We definitely understood that if the stats aren't hitting, it's not going to be a very popular item. So we wanted to say, okay, you can still buy this very early. You can still get this online way faster than Devos.
is cheap,
But now it has stats that are a little bit more applicable going into that late game. So it's not quite a 100% tip in the buff direction because, again, a little bit more expensive, still very cheap, but you're getting a much, much better stat.
Yeah, you said it perfectly.
Said it perfectly. You heard it here. So we're moving now away from the bows a little bit, and we're heading towards Piercing Star up next.
Oh, Piercing Star is our first brand new tier 2 that we're going to be looking at here. This is in the Morning Star tree. So yeah, you'll see here. Ooh, we got 3 tier 2s up in this tree. So Piercing Star builds into exclusively Heartseeker, no other item. Yeah. And this passive is that every 5 seconds, your next ability will deal 2% of the target's maximum health as physical damage. And as you can see here, this is one expensive tier 2. This might be the most expensive tier 2
I think it might be now,
in the game.
Going into Heartseeker.
Yeah, Heartseeker, a very expensive item on its own, so it made sense to kind of hit that middle point. And speaking of middle point, it is kind of just a mini version of Heartseeker, right? So it's a very simple passive, the same gameplay loop as Heartseeker, but you get it online sooner. You can stick with it for a while if you want to, if you don't want to go for the full upgrade of Heartseeker. But obviously,
I mean, the value from the full Heartseeker is
you get your percentage
so high. I'm pretty sure you're just building it
rather than what
as quick as you can.
I think 600, 1200.
Also, this is expensive, 1550.
So now you kind of get the middle point, and it's a lot more smooth for you.
Yeah, a lot more in the middle and a lot less kind of like 2 steps.
I was supposed to a flat percent of damage.
Well, cool. I hope y'all enjoyed the Morning Star tree.
Sorry, a flat amount of damage.
Tree. We're heading over to Short Sword's tree.
Yep, Short Sword. This is over in the crit tree, and we'll get to that other side later here, but let's talk about Short Sword. This was actually a really unique opportunity for us because this item's passive only happens when you have Critical Strike already. And this item itself does not have Critical Strike. So this is a passive that will only start to come into effect if you have any other critical item, critical effect, etc. So like your Jingweis, your Circuits that already get crit for free, they could use this, but you are going to need another Critical Strike item otherwise. But essentially what this does is when you get a Critical Strike, you get some power. And that does feel very nice. It's not a whole lot of power. It's still going to be less than your Rage and your Deathbringer, but
none of these
once
feel that
you are
useful.
building into that crit and you're starting to go into these more like crit amplifying, multiplying effects kind of idea when you come to like Deathbringer, it'll feel really, really nice.
Yeah.
That's right, yeah.
Straightforward and to the very sharp-looking point.
Yeah, good one. Something to highlight on that one as well is there's no internal cooldown. So as fast as you can crit, you can just stack that power up immediately. There is a maximum stacks of 3, but if you can crit 3 times very quickly, immediately you're getting 15 more power from that item for relatively cheap.
Cryptus third auto attack, hit all 3 knives.
That's right.
Get your power,
Boom, boom, boom.
like,
Boom,
boom. All right, so speaking of points, there's 8 of them on that adjacent item there.
Yeah.
So let's talk about 8-pointed shuriken.
The shuriken is back. It is so back. And here's its passive. Let's talk about it. This passive
this item is pretty insane.
When damaging an enemy god with a basic attack, you gain 3%
this item is
attack
actually
speed for
good.
10 seconds, max of 5 stacks. So you might go, okay, well this looks kind of similar to other items that we've had in the past, but the difference is that you get a relatively low amount of attack speed that lasts for a long time, but you got to make sure that you're stacking this up and maintaining those stacks.
Right.
So if you're building this kind of in the mid-game, as you would expect one to go crit, you want to make sure that you're still being active in boxing with the enemy hunter to make sure that you're maintaining those stacks over the long duration. And it's just a nice little bump, especially because you get attack speed going into Demon Blade or Bladed Boomerang. Both of those guys offer it, and you're not getting that from the actual base stats. You have to earn them.
Yeah, this one's a fun little mini game. Just kind of want to hit the hunter as much as you can, get those 5 stacks, and then every 10 seconds or within those 10 seconds, just want to hit him once more just to maintain those stacks so you maintain that attack speed.
This is an interesting
Speaking
one.
of attack speed, I guess you'll notice this for all of the
It's probably the best one so far,
very
but
thematic to what they build in. So yes, there is attack speed in those tier 3s that it builds into. Same with all the other tier 2s. So if it builds off crit like Short Sword does, and you get stacks from crit, that's because we're building into a crit tree. So it's very thematic of what it builds into.
Yeah, so not just fun to mix up that middle tree and change your buy options, but like you said, it's thematic. So
Exactly. Yep.
well placed. So from there we moved to 1,000-fold blade, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
So this is our katana tree, and as you can see here, this 1,000-fold blade built into Shadow Drinker, Equinox, and Hasten Katana.
Yeah.
The passive on this one's pretty fun as well, where you gain 5% movement speed for 10 seconds on killing or assisting an enemy god, and this stacks up to 3 times.
Yeah.
So you get 3 kills, you get 15% movement speed. Well, kills or assists, I should say, but pretty unlikely to happen.
It's just diminishing returns. Like it's another thing that's like
in arena and things like that.
These aren't
that's
exciting.
A really fun one. Other game modes, Conquest, it's a little less likely. It does allow you to snowball or get out after you get a kill, but in arena you're just going to kind of be zooming around all the time, assault and things like that. When kills are happening around you, this item is really good.
Yep.
I can see the perfect. You got Eye of the Jungle. You have this.
Yeah.
You get a team fight in mid, and they're like, all right, let's go to Phoenix, and you're already there. You
are zipping and zooming.
Yeah, that'd be like what 18% movement speed bonus. Like
a lot.
As long as you cut into the jungle, you're flying.
Yep.
So you're like, go to the Phoenix. I've been at the Phoenix. All right, cool. So Shadow Drinker up next.
Yeah, so Shadow Drinker is kind of along those same lines that we talked about for Stormseeker earlier.
45
cheap,
power.
Not really providing the oomph that you would want out of a tier 3 item. So what we're doing here is we're bumping the cost up by a smidge, 50 gold, one less pot in your inventory, one less ward, whatever it might be. But you're getting 10 more power.
10 whole power. Yep.
So that is a very significant stat stick now at 45.
Yeah.
So it's going to feel very nice.
This
and
item
of
is
course
actually
you get that extra bonus passive of the stealth
really
movement speed
good
as well, and that movement speed does not go away.
Like compare this item to Stormseeker. It's 15 more power, it's flat pen, it's it's 15 more power and it's movement speed, and then a
of that item.
Nice.
survivability passive.
I love a little bit of stealth anyway, so
Just seems so much better.
This is new next to it. We have Swift Edge.
Yeah, this is a brand new tier 2 katana.
Brand new tier 2. Looks good. I love
Not a gooner.
Yeah.
This built into specifically serrated edge, and this one has a fun passive as well, where damaging an enemy god with an ability grants 3% movement speed toward them for 3 seconds, stacked up to 3 times. So you got 3 abilities, you hit them with 3 abilities, you get 9% movement speed specifically towards them. You gotta keep fighting them.
That's aggressive.
Otherwise, you're not getting the movement speed. Think of it kind of like Gilgamesh 3, where you gotta walk towards his beacon.
Passive.
Yeah, Thanatos passive. All in that same vein. It works exactly
it's a
the
good
same.
item.
As long as you're hitting them with abilities, you'll get this movement speed buff.
This says
and
it's
you'll be able to
1,500 gold.
stack
This
it up
says
and keep it up.
1,250.
But again,
If it's 1,250, it's
not a very
actually
long one,
pretty
so
nice.
Gotta be back to back to back abilities, or you're gonna be losing this movement speed.
Hit him with the quick ones, and I just like the
Discord? Yeah, I'm down.
Like we've seen some like
It's my favorite.
jungle movement speed. We've seen some like general out of combat movement speed. This is like I'm gonna get
Oceans.
That's right.
I'll see you later. I'm gonna go watch
Choose
Patch
your
with Kurt.
target and just run straight at them.
I'm
hold
going
W.
princess.
See ya.
Holding W is like a specialty of mine. So I'm all for it. So from Swift Edge, we move to Balanced Blade.
I'm in
Balance Blade. This builds
Discord.
out of Light Blade, and now it only builds into Asi and Executioner. So what does Balance Blade do now? Well, it's got a passive that on damaging enemy god with a basic attack,
Yo.
gain 2 physical penetration
what's
for
your
5
thoughts
seconds.
so far?
stacks
This is
up
the
to
most
3
useless.
times.
Okay.
So much
Before
shorter
I
loop, but much
stay on the
stronger
items,
loop
Yes.
as well,
I actually
because
loved the
penetration is
change
just
to the
generally
shaman
way
camps.
more
That was a
important,
sick
especially in
change.
this, like, kind of
I agree.
transition phase
And then
where, you know, Asi and
this
Executioner are usually like your
is useless
2-3
and
items
pointless.
slot. You know, usually you get lifesteal first, and afterward you might
Yeah,
want to build into something else.
it is.
Speaking
I'm
of lifesteal,
in like
in
a
this tree,
like
might even
honest.
say.
I'm kind of in
Penetration on
shock,
this tier
like
two
real
is
shock.
Yeah, there is
This is the
penetration on it, so you might
mid-season
say
patch. This is supposed to be the
on Asi.
second biggest patch of the year.
Back.
It is so bad.
And
Let's
the
talk
the
about
the
that
patch
over here.
is
So, this
Oh,
is
that
a
Aussie
trade,
change is
of
actually
course.
pretty
Aussie is
big.
still a little bit more expensive than your
But this is
average, you know,
none of
item,
it
but
like
it's still
none
kind
of the
on
tier
that
2 items really do
as you
anything.
would be going for Devos
Yeah, they
or
just
something like
disappear
that.
when
So it's
you
getting a
upgrade
little
to a
bit less
tier
power
3.
if you're taking from
Like some of
45
them are kind of
40,
cool, but
you're trading
then they're
for
just
10
gone.
physical
Penetration.
which
Yeah,
is going
really
to
good.
be
The spiciest thing to me, outside of
So,
totems, I
hopefully
love
this
that. Like that just adds more, you know,
I think that
long-term
it's
depth to the game.
certainly
The
of
pen they added to the ADC item, so there might be some new
That's a
ADC
cool item.
item.
Yes, yeah.
Well, it's
definitely.
like the
It was
cool
very,
changes
very
are the tier 3
back
items.
when
The
it happened.
the invis item after killing
The same
got 10 more power, which I mean that's a 45 power item for 2250 gold now.
But those
Aussie's got
that's
flat
not
pen.
fun. That's not
Oh,
exciting.
I don't.
It's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
new.
I don't disagree.
Like we all just get base stats. Like yeah, the builds might slightly change.
This is going to be another very
Ah,
expensive
I mean,
tier 2 item.
This
tied
is a
up here
really
with
bad look to
Piercing
me.
Star.
Like this
But
is
Keen
this
Blade
is
going to
terrible.
have a new passive
I
as well,
just-
that does your basic attack,
I don't get why they
deal an additional 10%
put
basic
as much
attack
into
power as
this.
physical damage. And that's
The like I was assuming that they were adding items to the game, like true items.
I said last night. I literally was like, there's no way they add tier 2s to all these slots and then don't add any new tier 3 items, right? Like memeing. Like of course they were gonna add new tier 3 items.
Was one of the
And yeah.
They didn't add a single item.
So just generally,
No.
duality, kin size, Heartseeker, those are your kind
No,
of
and you haven't seen the god changes yet either, right?
damage items,
No.
So the tier 2s
It just keeps getting worse and worse. I'm just gonna inform you.
Don't want to fly too quickly to all that punchy extra.
Yeah, so far none of the tier 2 changes are notable enough to me for me to be like changing up my build path to, you know, build like an item.
Yeah, it's
And
like
they
have a
even-
tier 2.
They nerfed tier 2 Odibo. It's just a worse item now.
Well, they made it so you could get it online to farm better, but yeah, it clears slower.
They said people were building it, like rushing it in the jungle,
or it might even be more
like
applicable
first
to
item
assault,
before even getting their
scout,
starter.
duel,
because it's 1,000 gold.
Like that, where
you could do that with the other one, and you could actually clear better, and then you wouldn't have a starter. But now you clear worse.
Who the fuck was doing that?
I don't know. I don't know.
5% of your max mana, you gain MP5, but you don't.
That doesn't even make sense because, like you said, like nothing changes. You could still buy the other one.
Yes.
It'll be the same. Like nothing changes with that. Like as long as you can get a starter.
You get
now.
more pots. That's what you can get.
Yeah, start I'm interested in trying in Soul Lane is making
so you take instead of like you clear slower, so it takes you longer to clear, so you take more damage and you can buy more pots. Instead of just having the item that is better that helps you clear faster, so you don't need as many pots.
For the early game, just because the sheer amount of
just
mana sustain that it has, and the other stats you want as well, just physical power.
Like this one actually seems like okay. This one might be the only one that I maybe would build.
This one and some other ones we have coming up.
I don't know. Are you watching the patch notes or?
Yeah. I have it up because I was very interested in what they had to say.
The tier 2 Blackthorn Shillelagh gives you MP5. I mean, that's nice. Having just this basically makes it so you don't run out of mana.
Like, are we really gonna build a tier 2 and leave it tier 2'd?
No, absolutely not.
That's
Unless I'm getting shit on and I have to like adjust my build.
Yeah, it just goes away. You just upgrade it and it's gone. Like it's not even like they added a version of the tier 2s onto the tier 3s or like, you know, it existed. Have you seen the tank item that's like prot stealing it?
No, I haven't seen any of the tank items. They're talking about the hammers right now.
Yeah. I have it up. I have hammers up.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know what the order was. Like,
slows the enemy got hit.
I don't know if I'm being over the top, but this is mind-blowingly bad. Yeah.
Because like way back in the day, you could build tier 2 items because starters were I don't remember if they weren't in the game or if they just like they were just really average items. Like they were basically tier 1s with really small passives. Like Bluestone was like 10 power and then like 5 damage on your abilities or something like that for like 800 gold, and you can get like tier 2 Frostbound, which slows on every auto like back in the day.
This is kind of a mini
it's just like but I'd rather have tier 2 heavy hammer, or would I rather have axe and tier 1 hammer? It's just like the starters are so overpowered, there's no reason to ever consider a tier 2 for like early game.
That's right. You can attack someone
I don't understand.
And maybe by that point you're gonna have to dash after them.
I just don't understand, Bobby. I don't get it.
Attacking, you dash after them again. You get another auto attack, and they start.
This should have been like a micro patch. This should have been like a filler patch.
Yeah.
Not a mid-season like let's change up the game for the rest of the year. This is nothing.
This makes it feel worse because people have been having issues with like Smite 2. Like it doesn't seem like it's gonna be that close. Like the game is good, but it's got a long way to go. We have 15 gods. Smite 1's horrible. Don't worry, Smite 1's got a massive patch coming tomorrow. Get ready. It's going to change the game.
So this is a good example of a new
No, it doesn't.
You know what I'm saying?
First part is you literally just described
thank you for the sub, man.
my exact thoughts.
Thank you,
like,
Orhu.
I was like, all right, you know, if this is a good patch, we're fine. This is so crazy.
Yeah, I'm actually baffled so far.
In particular, is going to be building into Forged and also Dawnbringer. And
the worst part is they just reused old images from old Smite to do it. So is it even like?
Kind of what else do you want?
I don't understand.
300 gold to buy a chalice or some potions. You know.
This is a little insulting.
I don't know the process of coding and everything, but I can't imagine you worked 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, and this was the end result. Unless there's only like 1 or 2 of you actually doing anything. Like, did they pull everybody off of Smite 1? Is there nobody left on it? Like, do they not even have an art team, and that's why they just use old images?
Okay.
It feels like it.
All right, so let's move into magical items.
Because at least if that was the case, I would feel bad for like Ro and them. Like I'd feel bad for the devs because I
they have to do all this stuff.
Is it real? Is it really their fault? Like how much can they do if there's fucking 2 of them?
Each second you are in God combat.
Oh, I'm fucking lost, dude.
1% lifesteal for 5 seconds, up to a max of 20.
This is like this talent trinket is a tank item disguised as a power item for tier 2.
Bro, and it lost power. Like they removed the power.
or
Like,
especially squishier.
like, why are we removing? Why are we? What? I don't understand. Like, why are we adding a passive
by
that removes the
50?
power?
Woo!
To be in these fights for a long time, you will get a very big reward.
Yeah, yeah. So
I
you can kind
mean,
of, like, you don't have to go all the way.
I
down
will
to just
say,
stay in combat for 20 seconds. You can kind
because of how bad the starters are, like Vamp Shot is so bad now, and you don't really need another item with Anubis. I could see going tier 2 Talent Trinket now, but I guess it is 45 power.
You can do that and play that little fun, like,
And you have to be like in combat.
And that's the worst part. You have to be in combat the whole time to just have 10 more power than it used to have. Like what is that? I'd rather have the lower base power and not have some pretend cool passive I got to keep track of. Like, people are gonna die trying to keep their power up.
You know, when you say people, you're talking to me. I'm gonna be min-maxing this, trying to keep it up, taking a tower shot just to stay at 20 stacks.
People are gonna be so worried about that. They're not gonna be paying attention to the mini map. Like, they're gonna get ganked. They're gonna be get tower shot. They're gonna be eating minion damage.
If you can maintain 20 stacks for an extended period,
I am so confused, bro. And I've been trying so hard after my Smite 2 takes.
From a 1350 item, you have to earn it.
To feel like I was like trying to not doomsday the game, but I legitimately think this is the patch where I'll say, all right, that was it.
And get in the combat.
Somebody, are you streaming?
Fight until that item is really efficient.
Somebody just asked, which might do anything right now that would please anyone. There is so many things that wouldn't take that many resources that they could do to, like, just switch up the game. They could switch up, like, build pass, like
Mystic Ring. So this is a
just toss, like,
as well. This is going to build
exciting stats onto items to, like, switch them up. We have seen so many builds that have stayed the same. Like, jungling right now,
very standard.
Beautiful ring.
Is probably more open than it's been because they nerfed Jotuns and buffed Blackthorn. But, like, you could toss a buff onto brawlers. You could toss.
They rebuffed Jotuns. It is statistically still the best item. Like,
why? They rebuffed it.
Not in this patch. That was a while ago. You don't remember? They gave it 5
power.
Oh,
it was
back.
Last patch. They gave it the power back.
Yeah. So it's just it's a little more gold. It's 100 more gold. It's still the best statted jungle item.
5+3 per level magical.
Like, they could toss, like,
effect can only occur once every
bro,
they could toss 10 flat pen onto Erendite. Make it contest other items.
They teased Fatalis. Where the fuck is Fatalis?
But is it a tier 2 item?
A little bit of a mismatch.
It's not a new item.
Upgrade up into Cyclopean.
There's nothing, Bobby. There's nothing.
As well, and then on top of that, if you decide to upgrade it to Telkine,
unless
I remember seeing that.
Of what I just saw, there's no new items. Not a single new fucking item. Bobby, they teased Nemean. I thought we were gonna have reflect damage back.
Wait, that is literally something that they could do to refresh the game. Add back Hastened, add back Nemean.
Bro, I woke up today thinking we were gonna get all the OP shit back because who the fuck cares? Right? Like, why not just throw every fucking OP thing back in the fucking game? What are we fucking balancing for?
Yeah, okay.
Nobody's playing anymore.
These tier 2 items would also have been really cool if they just said, fuck it, let's just add cool passives to them. And if they become better than the tier 3 items, maybe we switch the passive of those 2 items. Or maybe we nerf it a little bit after we realize it's too OP. But none of these, like I said it the first time, but none of these are switching up my build path other than maybe like that Shillelagh item where, like, I'd want to go the tier 2 Blackthorn and then build into some physical defense because I'm getting whooped in lane. Or in, like, support, I want to get, like, a little bit of MP5 and a little bit of damage. But, like,
I'm getting my basic attack.
It should be cool, exciting stuff. That tier 2 Soul Leader, 4% lifesteal on your abilities. You know how useless 4% lifesteal is when your abilities are hitting for 100?
It's like 1. Yeah, it's like fucking, you're getting like 1 healings back, bro. You're not paying any attention to it.
And then choose your
and it's more expensive, so it's like a worse item to build into.
seeing numbers.
Because it's harder to build into because it's more expensive.
That is the goal.
I really thought, like, I thought Book of the Dead was coming back. I just thought they were going to give us all the dumb shit back. Like a massive patch of just like, we can't make new items, but we could, easily throw these old ones back in and see what happens.
Effect that we have never really done before.
I am in utter shock.
Are you reading this item?
1200 gold, 40 magical power.
I have read all these items, yes.
This item? Do you see what they did to this item?
Pretty normal. But let's talk
You're talking about the passive where it stacks at tier 2?
Yes.
So each time you damage an enemy god with an ability, gain a stack. Each stack does nothing, but when you upgrade this item, the stacks
am I getting grief?
Item. you may only gain 1 stack every 4 seconds and can only gain stacks once per god per ability hit, max 50 stacks, you know, all that other junk that comes with it. But essentially, the really cool thing about this is that you can start stacking your Book of Thoth or Tablet of Destinies early.
That's right. Yeah.
Is that a joke?
You could start this item and start these stacks early. So you can see there's 1 stack, 1 Kepri there.
I don't know anymore, man.
You can see the 4-second cooldown. That's right. Yep. Yeah, Harrison's got this.
First off, this is busted. Second off, this is stupid.
Enemy. Same rules as
it makes no sense. They basically just said here,
50 times
stack your item, you know, for free, and
I guess that's
get your item stacked faster.
Yeah, just here you go.
What the fuck is the point?
For no reason, no. Nothing cool. Like really, what's really cool about that? Well, he just said really cool. What?
You just finish your stacking item faster.
Just go and finish some other items.
Bro, tier 2 prophetic cloak better be the exact same thing.
1350.
I want 35 stacks.
You're up and away.
I don't know why I said 35. I want 30 stacks on a tier 2 prophetic cloak, and I never have to back for it.
You know, mixing up when you upgrade this item, or you know how often you're looking to actually start with it. You know, picking when you pick up the starter item as well.
I am so confused.
Kurudashi, thanks for following. What's up, G?
Provided a whole lot of
Can you finish? Yes, you can finish stacking it beforehand.
There's nothing that is shaken up. It just gives you the stacks for free.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like you said,
the shaking up is you don't have to buy the item that you should want to buy as fast as you want to buy it. Like, there's no like min-maxing. Oh, I'm trying to get to this item as quick as possible so I can back and start getting stacks. No, it's I just need to get to the tier 2 and start stacking.
Very intuitively designed. If I picked up on it,
is that their hopes that you'll be like, all right, let me build tier 2 Thoth real quick, and then let me go into my other item, and then I'll go finish it once I'm like stacked up.
I really hope I'm not gonna have mid laners building sands into tier 2 book, and then they just sit damaging enemies until that they get the 50 stacks.
Mana per stack as well. This is essentially no balance change at all.
And they're just making Book of Thoth better.
More nicely with Book of Secrets.
I usually don't care what every other creator thinks, but I'm very genuinely curious if our opinions here are shared. If this is as bad as my brain is telling me it is.
Sorcerer's Staff.
Yeah.
Before it got in
the PTS, what do we even go test?
Warlock's staff, and this one also
building your tier 2 items.
Cool
okay, that is a good change. This item right here is actually a good change.
Your maximum health and mana
this is weird though. Like
this, no, there's actual like value to this because
okay,
and there you would switch your build.
But this just exists. You aren't going out of your way to do anything. It doesn't change the game in any way. You just have this item, and if you happen to get a kill, it might keep you fighting and save you.
Let me just say, this change is actually really good for how like getting warlocks finished. Yes, like
well, you don't have.
Does it change an absolute ton?
No,
but this is like the one of the only tier 2 items that I'm actually interested in using just to see how it feels. Because
of conquest, for example, you're getting level
building this second item
immediately before you even get to lane, you're getting a
and almost like keeping this through the course of a game, just so you can always stay full health, full mana, stuff like that, or at least keep it until level 13, 14, so you can start stacking your warlocks because you do more damage. I think that's like a little bit of an interesting change.
Yeah.
I feel like
there's no world you build this tier 2 and then leave it to go build other items.
But like you just said, you know, like
I think you would.
Once you learn how,
because this is like
going to go into warlocks and get your stack started.
I'm about to
no, because because of how they changed warlocks, and this is a problem that I have with the stacking system, how they changed it. You stack faster, getting more power.
Whatever item you want after, and you're on the road. So
I mean,
that's gonna be
bro. How often are you like? How often is?
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, this is the tier 2.
But I will stand by the fact that that is the one change that I think is cool.
Here's the question.
And what does
how often do you build it? What is it? What is that item that heals when you? I don't even know the name of the item. When you're part of an assist that heals you. The tank item.
The old item, Mail of Renewal.
Yeah. How often was that ever built in Conquest?
Well, it was always built when it was OP, and then they nerfed the healing, and then it was dog shit. And now it's dog shit because you take damage and
never built again.
On the passive,
and the stats are horrible.
The item as well, so 11 total.
And again, 10% health, bro. I don't know, man. Like that. There's the micro chance, or the it might in a game help you, maybe, but you're buying an item to maybe help you in a game.
Again, I'm just saying it's a
keep a hold of that.
That is like a partial item from League, and the League item is fun to play around with.
I hear you.
But this one is another useless one. 10 pen for 10 seconds, or 2 pen for 10 seconds, stacking up to 3 times.
Artifact builds into a
But like, my thing is, why not just add that fucking passive to the tier 3?
You're not wrong.
The one thing they have in common
You're not wrong.
Mana sustain. They all got MP5. So one nice little boon you'll get from going into restored artifact is that on damage
1% of your maximum mana.
Restore.
You know how much mana you have at the point that you'll usually have this item, like in the early game. You're sitting at like 500, 600 mana. You're healing for 500 or 5 mana when your ability costs 50. What's the point? They should have just made it 10.
Dude, all of these tier 2s are just gonna be like a non-thought. Like, you're just gonna grab the item and it might help you, but you're not gonna notice. Yeah, you're not gonna know what's happening. It's not gonna change your gameplay. It's not gonna change your experience.
To get this item on.
This fucking blows my mind.
I wish that they made him busted. I actually wish that like this item was like
that makes sense.
restore
also makes sense
10% of your maximum mana upon damaging an enemy. Oh, this is the item that you build if you never want to run out of mana.
Damage, you're like, I just got 12% of my mana back.
Yeah, that would be a little wild.
But then again, you're kind of right. Why would he just make it this on a tier 3 then?
Well, yeah, why not just throw this shit? Like, just go crazy, bro. We're fucking bored, and this is embarrassing.
This is my, as a Guardian lover, this is kind of.
You're trying to tell me you're not loading up PTS and doing a tier 2 only build?
Bro, I told my stream last night, jokingly, that if all they do is add tier 2s with passives and no new items, I'm uninstalling the game.
Still expensive. We felt like Gem of Fate's price was definitely a very interesting cost.
So now I'm uninstalling the fucking game.
Since I think its introduction in Smite in like season 5,
there are micro good changes in here, like you said, like this change. This is a solid change. It is not cool. It is not exciting. It is not fun. It's a quality of life change.
You're getting this item, and then you're getting.
We're mid-season patch, Bobby.
Yeah, this is.
I want no quality of life. I want crazy shit. I want a raw ult to kill me when I spawn across the map. What the fuck am I supposed to do with this?
Really, the only time you are happy.
You're trying to tell me you're not trying to load PTS up to build 3% extra movement speed eye of the jungle?
Great value.
Bro, I was like, oh, we're starting with this? That, you know, we're back. And then it just, like, that was the hype. That's the hype.
Dude, the shaman camps also. I was like, holy fuck, this is gonna bang. I'm down to play some Smite 1.
You can see both down from 1600 to 1500.
And then they added all these.
I know J-Mac can't see it right now, but same
The
treatment.
worst thing is, I'm not ignorant to my situation. If this is bad for everybody, as I think it is, it affects my income, my stream, my YouTube. Same for you. I don't want this to suck, but I don't see this being anything else other than shit.
That kind of covered.
Oh, you see that Erendite change?
So now we're moving on to some.
Yeah, it's cheaper and great, but it's still.
That's an exciting change, right?
2 gods, nice. I'm gonna build it on the same gods I already built it on. Nemesis and fucking Ravana. Great.
From 1400
I'm not even gonna remember the change went through other than like, oh cool, I got it cheaper. Sick.
A little bit, and the magical protection the same amount, but the health is going up. So we're doing a little bit here.
All right, someone in my chat said, why are we upset? All these changes are solid.
Related to the things that they're building into, right? Another item that does not have a passive, but a very, very solid stat stick that is significantly cheaper.
If this was patch 11.3,
and the reason we changed these,
this is a fine patch.
On the other side, on Enchanted Stone,
this
again,
game,
no passive.
This
it is
patch,
new, but no passive on the other side.
It's supposed to last us until we're able to play Smite 2.
As we could, in terms of
this is not changing the game.
We see the Enchanted Stone, different stats, different cost.
And like, how do I word it? I'm going to be playing the exact same game after this patch drops as I am playing right now.
Cool to see that in there as well.
Except the shaman camps. The shaman camps was a solid change, and that's something that I'm going to be interested to play around. But other than that, I'm playing the exact same game.
Surprisingly, I know, not in the mail tree.
I'm not min-maxing tier 2s after this patch drops. That's the biggest issue.
On an enemy god or minion grants protections for.
What did they even change at the beginning of this year?
For 5 seconds.
That was hype.
Goes up to 5 stacks. So again,
they added gods. I remember that.
Provide protections.
Outside of that,
or another Gauntlet of Thebes eventually.
Wait, what was the new god we got?
That's kind of the pathway that we were looking at.
I just remember Nut.
And
was there 2?
We just got Nut. No, we just got Nut, right? It was just 1 god.
A little bit.
Yeah, but 10.
Oh, they added the 2 items, Stormseeker and Equinox.
Staying around enemy gods that are dying. As long as there's action going near you.
But that was the big. That was our.
stacks, that item ends up being really costly.
That was an entire patch basically
it was
with some balance.
Yeah, but like the first patch of the year is usually crazy, right? And then the mid-season patch is usually crazy.
Did they add the Bull Demon? No, that's recent. Wait, I don't remember when they added the Bull Demon King.
That was like 2 patches ago, I think.
And then you can start.
That wasn't the beginning of the year. So this, the more I think about it, this whole year is like just spaced out patches with no.
This one builds
Surely
Gaia and just kind of
11.1 surely was a big patch, right?
Significantly underbought item. So
there's no way this is a horrible
we're
patch.
dropping the price here from
I can't think of
1250,
what it was other than that.
Big bump in the
Let's see this bad boy.
Side were those in the game before?
It's not a passive, which can be kind of narrow, but
it had them in the side camps. Yeah.
They added
was, right?
comets.
Yeah.
Quite the fire sale.
Comets.
Awesome
So comets and scepter, which was, I mean, that changed how I play a little bit.
Right here, I love the word new. Defender's Blade, huh?
Yes, this tree is looking quite a bit different here. So Defender's Blade is going to be building into Lotus Sickle.
The Cyclops Rogues with the jungle camps and the movement speed buff.
Oriented items that you'll be checking out.
Teleporters also.
Yeah, this one.
I thought they added teleporters before the beginning of the year. Was that the beginning of the year?
That was 11.1, yeah.
1350.
Oh, okay. So that was so they did.
It was a good patch.
What the fuck is that for this?
But
Where the fuck is that for this?
At this point, that patch is wearing off.
At that point in the game,
oh, it's gone, bro.
Well, actually wore off a little bit ago, but now we're at the point where it's just like, what are we doing?
Bump this cost up? Maybe not, because for supports especially, it's going to be.
They should remove Invader's Curse. I'm not trolling. That should have been one of their changes.
But perhaps
go for it, bro. At this point, I just don't give a fuck.
By putting some more enticing stats, I might say, on the tier 2, it's going to feel very, very nice. So 10% cooldown is really the standout here for.
Oh, they have the fun wards too.
The tier 3 a little bit here.
I have a prediction.
Is getting
so the lowest player base the game has seen pretty much in its lifetime
another underboard
was 6,000 concurrent in October of 2018.
Yep, I was looking at this yesterday.
I think we hit that straight from here right down. I think we go right down.
You think
to that.
this
like,
month we hit it?
No. I think it goes down like 400. What are we at right now? We're at 82. So like 400, 400, 400, and then we're down in 6K.
Yep. Just another mini version to smooth out that.
That's what I think.
A lot of the problems
just straight down.
We actually saw it recently with Smite 2, where there was a very low cost anti-heal.
It's just
item.
crazy that
sometimes when you're like, oh my, this enemy team has
in
healing,
the
we can
past,
take care of it right now, but you don't have enough gold to
7
get
days.
A full tier 3 item where all your anti-heal is. Now you can get kind of a
Smite's
mini version,
peaking at like 11,000.
Get that 20% online.
Peaking at 11,000
until you can get up to the 2,300.
Just 1 month ago, Smite was peaking at 15,000. That means the peak amount of players are down 4,000.
Yeah, and you just lost
in 1 month.
Team fight.
That's the highest it's ever been. For a peak, right? Am I trolling?
Wait, what?
So now
is that the highest?
Territory with silver
that's gotta be one of the highest peaks it's ever gone
No.
down.
Smite peaks at like.
No. I don't mean like 15K being high. I mean the loss. That's one of the biggest losses.
I don't even think it's close.
This one is kind of the same vibe as Pestilence, where
drops are like
55 units, their healing is reduced, and again, it does not stack with.
I guess this one's like. I mean, there's a couple that are like 2,000, but it's like. It's like less of a percentage because this is like 15 down to 11. There's some like 23s down to 19s, which is, I mean, that's a lot.
30% of their player base peak.
Yes, in a month, in 1 month.
Brand new.
And the way I'm looking at this patch too, does anyone want to come back and try something in this patch? Is there something that someone who currently wasn't playing says, hey, big patch, I'm coming back?
You gain a stack.
I don't see anything in this patch.
You lose all your stacks.
Bro, I played today, and I don't even want to come back to play this patch.
Radius around you.
Yeah.
So one of the cool things that this item kind of builds into is you get a lot of these useful team effects, right? So these are all very
what is this item? Gain a stack each time you damage or are damaged by an enemy god once per ability. So upon reaching 5 stacks, so you have to damage or get damaged 5 times. You restore 100 mana to you and allies within 40 units.
Mana boost as you're on your way to these other more standard mana boosts.
Yeah, and pretty good stats for the cost as well. Only
12, my god, dude.
Magical protection.
This kind of shit is stuff that would be good if you could have it like level 1, 2, 3, 4, and like it affected your lating phase. You know what I mean? But like,
yes,
like outside of that, it instantly like if you're buying it later, it's trash. If you're as soon as you upgrade it, you don't remember it, you don't care.
Kusaris and the more selfless Kusaris. On the left, we've got our selfish ones. So we're talking about Spellbound here, which
Like,
builds into Oni Hunter's Garb and Genji's Garb.
I get that there's probably not a ton of resources in Smite 1 right now.
Magical damage, gain 5%
And I feel for trying to like
damage
change the
mitigation
game
for 5 seconds
at
with an
this
internal
point
cooldown of 12 seconds.
when like a lot of people are being really
Yeah, so
negative.
specifically against
but
magical gods, as this whole tree is really.
Yeah.
I do
You're
not
building
think
it,
this
you
was the
are
correct way to
playing
do
some
it.
Sudden magical defense.
Even
This is actually
close.
a really efficient
No,
1250 gold
like
to buy
I
this
really
item.
don't want to
Really
doomsday
efficient damage
the
mitigation
game.
for the magical gods
I don't. I
specifically.
want
That
to.
won't help you
This is
against,
my
you know, the
fucking.
hunters
I
and
make a
the
living.
assassins and the warriors
Essentially,
that are hitting you, but if
like
you're dying to mages, you need to fix that real quick.
it's
This is what
unavoidable at this point.
5% damage mitigation.
I
might not
really
seem like a lot,
don't
right?
think it's the
But
dev's fault.
against your main
I
opponent,
really
especially
just
if they're trying
don't.
to combo into
Well,
you, or there's a magic
it's-
jungler trying to gank you, or the mid laner has
it is
rotated, or the
80%
support is attacking you.
on
Any of these situations, it's
a
really gonna help
certain
lot, and it's gonna
few
add up over
people.
time.
Yeah, and
There's
Sorry.
just
No, please.
like
yeah,
their
for the enemies playing
timeline
against
of
this as well,
announcing
you can see
Smite
that it only
2
has a duration of 5 seconds, but
and
an
then
internal cooldown of 12 seconds.
their
So you can kind of hit
timeline
them
for
with a
how
low
they dealt with
damaging
Smite
ability,
1
wait those 5 seconds,
just
and
made
then
no
for the next
sense.
7 seconds, you've got full freedom where they don't.
They're
have that
putting
damage
so much
mitigation. You can
pressure
buff
onto
them like
Smite
you
2 to be the
normally
best
would, so
game ever.
Both sides. can
Do
play
you
around
did
that.
you really pay attention to like the Overwatch and Overwatch 2 stuff?
5 seconds is over. Like,
Yeah,
now's the
how
time,
it
throw the
was
ult.
supposed to have PvE and
Super
the game
cool,
didn't really
yeah.
change at
So
all.
next
If
up,
that
here's a
if
new
that
word
wasn't
I've
by
never
a
used
company as
before.
big as like Blizzard or like Riot, like a huge company,
So this builds into Void
Overwatch 2 would be
Mario,
dead,
and also
and it wouldn't
Shogun
even be
Sorry.
close. But
And this
because of just
passive
how
set
much
for each
Blizzard
enemy god
has,
within
like the
55
pull they
units of you,
have,
reduce all
ads,
enemy
stuff like
gods'
that,
magical
they were able to
protections
kind of
by
pull it
4
back.
for each
But
allied
Overwatch
god within
1
55 units of you,
was
increase
dead
all
in the
allied
water.
gods'
Overwatch 2 had
protection
all
by
this pressure on
5%.
it. Overwatch
So,
2 didn't
if
even
you got a lot of allies
like
with you,
get
a lot of
partially up
protection
to
amongst
like the
yourselves.
expectations
if
it
you got a lot of
had.
enemies around you, you are reducing all of their
I don't think
protection by a
Hyros
significant
can't do
amount.
that.
So, again,
There
one
is
of
so
the
much
best
pressure on
both
Smite
worlds
2 now,
items where,
and it's just because of
it really
how
depends
bad
on how
Smite
in
1
there you're getting.
and
If
how
you're around your
unloved
allies
Smite 1
more,
has
you're
been
gonna
for the
be
past
helping
6
them a lot,
months
but if you're
or
around
in the
your
next
allies
few
more,
months.
you're gonna be hurting them a lot.
I mean,
It's another one of those where you
dude,
get a
this
bit of
could
both
go
of the two of
so.
threes, and then you choose your
This
path
could,
from there. If you wanna
like, I don't
continue
know if
playing
it will be,
aggressive
but
and stealing their
this
or taking
could
their
end
protections,
high
then you
risk.
upgrade
Like,
into
like.
I mean, this is their
Could be
game.
If you
it.
wanted to stay with
Paladins-
your team and give them the
Paladins is
attack speed,
great,
then you go into the defensive
but
side.
it is
So
not
you just kinda
sustaining a
choose
company.
Your path. You get both from the tier 2 for only 1300
Yeah,
gold.
this is
and then choose
wild,
from there.
bro.
Nice, yeah.
This is
Decide based
not
on
at
the
all what I was
Right.
expecting from this
Next
patch.
up, we're moving over towards breastplate, specifically.
And
the
it
silver
sucks.
breastplate.
Yeah, so you'll see that this tree has once again been split up into 2 different pathways, but Silver Breastplate is the one on the left. This now builds into Breastplate of Regrowth and Breastplate of Valor.
Dude,
The
imagine
cost has
season
gone up,
11
and the physical protection has gone
instead
down,
of
but that's
being
because,
whatever
again,
it was.
another 10% cooldown
Every
reduction on a
month.
tier 2.
Yeah.
Very, very
They added
interesting
back
applicable stat for
old
those that want
maps.
it. You're getting
So,
it
like,
anyway on the upgrades.
January, you got to
we're
play on like
seeing
the
if
season
this
1
kind
map.
of more power spiky
February,
method where you're
season
getting
2
more
map,
stats for a
season
little bit
3
more
map,
price
so on and
point
so
feels
forth.
really good to players.
There's
And
like
again,
so
you
many
are
different ways they
trading
could have done
off
it. They
some of
could
those
have
protections, so you're
kept
gonna be able to
competitive
be a
going in
little bit
Smite
more
1.
offensive oriented,
But they just-
with your extra abilities to be fired out. But
I don't
you are
know.
going to be paying for that a little bit in a little bit more.
They just
money
shat the
and a
sheets.
little
That's
bit less
all I'm
protection.
thinking.
And it
I
builds
am
into that
no
breastplate
face cam's
regrowth,
not
which
frozen.
is,
Sorry,
again,
Bobby. I'm
another
just
underbought item. We're gonna
You're
I
good.
can't
help it
process
just a
this.
little
I
bit
am
by
I
adding
am
5 more protections.
I am in
to
a
breastplate of
true
regrowth.
state of
That's at
shock,
50
bro.
now. I think that's even with everything in that tier 3 tree. I think they're all 50 now.
Yep.
I just can't
Um,
believe this
had
is
to
what they
happen,
did.
So they're all 50.
Yeah. just
I can't
bring
believe they
everything
would
in
do
line a
this
little
to
bit,
themselves. Like, I'm
breastplate.
thinking from
Just
like
leave it at
if I
45
owned that
and
company,
apply.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
gonna-
like
they're
there's
having
no
friends.
way
It
they
does
aren't
feel like
bleeding
that.
money already
So now
with
see the word go
nothing,
again, another new tier
no
2,
good
we have
outlook
the
in
sturdy breastplate.
the future.
Yes,
Like,
this is going to be building into contagion.
like sure they made a fuck ton of money off Smite 2, but people can refund that
This
shit.
guy is another stat stick of an item. It's got a lot of props.
Yeah.
For very, very cheap. 1050 is a very, very solid price for a tier 2 item.
In a non-depth
For
capacity, I
stats
personally don't know the
versus
full scope
power
of what it
spike,
is.
through
Take on the tier 2s
passive
in one way. Does
of
something
tier
change for the tier 2s if you get
3?
more
So
gold,
you
more of the
are
gold
really
back when
enjoying
selling,
to
like
see
90 to
some very
100%?
solid
No.
stats there.
The most interesting part of this one is you're seeing HP5 instead of MP5
I mean,
on this side of the tree, and the
maybe maybe
So very,
at a 90
very
to
different than how
100%.
it's always been. This whole tree has been MP5. But as we move on, we can move on to spectral armor now on the right side, and you can see.
But I think that just
no
like
more
messes with.
MP5. It is now HP5. So this side of the tree, because
Okay,
it come from this
it would.
is now.
But I think it
that health
messes with
for
the
5
balance of a
seconds
bunch of
instead the mana
things.
for 5 seconds. So you get to get the tier 1. You just get your physical protections, and then you choose your path from there. Whether or
I'd have
not
to
you wanna
think
go
a little bit
health
harder about that
or
one and
mana
like
oriented,
the
and then
like the
so
ripple
right,
effects it would
which then
have
left
on the
side is your
game.
health, and then contagion again, 25 HP5 instead of the.
Because then there would just be
MP5 that it
certain
previously had.
items.
The stats are getting adjusted as well. Spectral armor down from 250.
I mean, I think it would
that's
just
a cool
it would just
clip.
make build
Sorry,
paths kind of just
increased from
useless.
150 health.
Like there would
Wait,
be no
this is
build
an
path. You
old
just build like a
clip,
tier
bro.
2 and then
Than what it
sell.
was before.
There's
And
that
because
troll,
the
Bobby.
mana got removed
Yeah,
on
I think
Decaden,
it would be,
just the health rather than the mana,
I don't think it would
we've
do a
added,
ton.
Another 100 health.
Because you would just be
Also
building like
200
different
health
tier
on top of
1s,
this
tier
physical
2s, and then like a
defense,
certain
and
tier
you've got
3.
very
Thank you for the
tanky side
sub,
of
by the way,
tree,
Death Knight, the
whereas other side
primer.
is more
Thank you, man.
utility. Could be offensive.
Wait, how did you get trolled?
Your cooldowns and your extra mana to use those abilities.
Mindy said,
But on the
send me
right side, you've
a
got the very
message
defensive
and
role.
says this Sylvanas pool is
I like that too. I
insane.
like the, like, all right,
And
what
it
do I
was a
do?
clip from 2020 of someone backing at Sylvanas, throwing the pool out and pulling somebody into base.
Just feels comfortable.
Oh, one of those
Very
change.
easy to
Oh,
change. You kind of
that
feel
that was like a fun time
So,
when you could do
I
that.
had the honor
Yeah,
of getting
well.
a tweet about this recently myself. We have spiked shield.
Dude, they're taking so long to go through these tiers.
Yeah, they're going through all of them. I'm pretty sure this just means that they don't have a ton of other, if anything else.
I'm convinced that these patch notes got longer and longer because of ad revenue
Some good HP 5, so
to make money.
nice bit of sustain as well going into.
I mean, that's why they have the community streams.
Always nice.
Like, do you remember back in the day? Yeah, but there's way more people watching this usually, right? Do you remember back in the day when it was like an hour and a half? Was like, you know, that was a pretty solid long patch notes. Now it's like all of them go over that, no matter
Yeah.
the content.
Combat, gain 1% attack speed for 5 seconds, max 10 stacks. So again, kind of similar to what we saw.
The
with
patch
Iron
is just
Trinket,
boring.
but a little bit
These, it doesn't
less
do
time in
anything.
combat because we know that, you know, in the solo lane especially, those guys like to brawl.
Yeah.
So that would be a pretty significant stat bump if you were to be getting even more stacks at that. So I want to be careful with that. But we are pulling some stats.
Yeah, I guess I didn't even know if they
from
ran
Iron
ads
as
or
well
not.
to make sure that it's feeling pretty fair, that you're getting those extra bumps, especially the attack speed as well, because that is brand new. For
No,
this,
it's not meta changing at all.
So this is your kind of
CC
your
Oceans.
auto attacker version. You can auto attack whenever you want, obviously, unless you're disarmed, of course. And then the other talent trinket was for abilities.
Oh, Scott
Obviously,
buff.
abilities have cooldowns, basic attacks.
Have you
do
seen
not.
the God
So,
changes?
Well, they have an attack timing, but they don't have a cooldown.
Or the
I have.
bounds?
Getting them much
I
more
have.
often,
Have
so
you?
have
Is
the
that
chance
exciting,
to
at
get them
least?
within that 5 seconds
No.
instead of the
Do you want me to
talent
give you
trigger
just
ones.
like a minor, one of the minor changes? That's one of the big changes. Sorry, one of the big changes.
Like you said, fun for brawling.
Cupid's. I'm gonna give it to you. It's
Alright.
Cupid, dude. Like Cupid sucks, right? So you know what sucks about Cupid? What sucks about Cupid?
So next up
Everything.
Like he's clear shit, right?
No
His team
CC
fight's pretty
immunity,
mediocre. Yeah, he's not
interruptible
safe.
dash.
Oh well, now when you dash, you double your attack speed.
Mystical Bell.
Pretty easy.
Not
Yeah.
just the attack speed from the,
It's
you know, just the
mini
20%.
version
It's 40% attack speed when you
so
dash
if
now.
you're really struggling
For
in the
like
early game
3
to
seconds?
clear,
Yeah.
or whatever
So if
you're
I
playing, let's say solo
commit
lane,
my
tank item, you get
safety,
this magical damage per second. For all
I
enemies
get extra
around.
attack
You can
speed?
attack fast. You
Same
can
as
maybe kill
Mystical
somebody.
Bell, but for a much lesser number, and not another that's scaling either. So for
It doesn't even
1400
like.
gold, technically you could start this. Not too many
It doesn't even
potions,
change
so
how the
just
character
to,
plays.
You could also just get your
Also,
clear, get a
I'm not
mini
gonna
version
spoil the
of
specifics, but like 90% of the god changes
So
are
if
mana
something doesn't
changes
have much
with
clear in
some
the
scaling changes,
Now, all
but
of a sudden,
there's
you
nothing
can
spicy.
buy this.
Bro, it's like
that Cupid changed might be the hypest change.
you know, like what was it? The X shell change from last patch where her ult now heals her.
So this just brings the price point down.
Yes.
To get the value
So like,
that you want from this
obviously a
item,
good
down
change.
to
It buffs her.
1400 gold value.
Does that make her
Again,
more
it
fun of a
won't scale, it won't be
character?
better than the tier 3.
Absolutely
It's
not.
worth it to upgrade
No.
into the
So-
full mystical mail, but this will give you just a little bit.
There's like the section in the thing that you can like toss in ideas, and because I don't remember who it was, but somebody typed like Ixchel is a god that we could look to buff. Like she doesn't feel like great.
We played in a lot more positions. when we
And
start to do this
my
stuff.
idea was
really fun.
when you hit that auto, you know, like her passive auto, it cuts you like a second off of all your other abilities. So like it makes the spammy character feel more spammy. It feels like more fluid when you're actually playing her.
Yeah.
And I think that fixes like part of her.
A little bit of combining here in terms of effects
I don't know what
when
the
it
like.
comes
I don't want to say
to the kinds of
clunkiness,
things
but
that you upgrade
she's a
into.
spam
So,
character, and if her
big
spam isn't available, she feels bad.
attack speed, anti-basic
Yeah,
attacker,
you're also out of
kind of a
position to
similar
do it, so you
Yeah.
feel extra. Whereas you're like you gotta try to live without having anything to make you live.
The
Similar idea,
ult
but a little bit
change
different because you're
just
gonna
makes her
sustain
more
from
frustrating to
five.
dive
So
because she now
instead of
gets
getting sustained,
healing in a
you get
1v1,
shield, and when are you gonna get
mitigations in a
shield? When you
1v1,
get basic attack.
damage in a
So
1v1.
getting hit
Did I say
by
CC immunity in a
every
1v1?
basic
CC
attack
immunity in a
damage
1v1.
by grants
Movement
75
speed in a
health
1v1.
shield, that lasts for
She
5
can
seconds
toss her
until
2
it is
out,
destroyed. These
so
shields
she has like the
don't
knockup in the middle of the 1v1.
So you can't
All
just
this
keep shield,
added together to just make her more difficult to fight. And I don't know if you've been playing a ton of ranked recently, but that character I see in so many games, and it's just not fun to play against her now.
Really cool.
She used to
No,
be one of the
yeah.
more fun characters to play and play against, and now it's just like a frustrating thing to play against.
We were talking about her ult last night because it basically swing like her ult used to be annoying, but now it's just all like if they used it right, if you know if they were diving
Yeah,
right,
if
or if
they
they had their teammate position
they were good.
perfectly. Yeah, now it's just every fight her ult like impacts massively
Yeah.
impacts like without any skill.
I hate it.
Next up, we have Cloak
Bro, you know how they tweeted the collie changes, like big buffs?
Yeah.
Yeah, wait till you see that.
I
They-
saw the jump change where when you jump on them, you get you change to that target or whatever.
Oh yeah, but did they mention they nerfed the pen from the passive?
What's it down to? 20?
They halved it, I believe.
It's
like-
15?
It's 5. You know, it's like 10 base or whatever. It's like
Yeah.
5, and then
And it
the other
scales up to 30?
Yeah, it scales down. Its scaling is half or whatever it was.
And taking 10 from
So it's now
every
5 up to
so it's
15?
Really, really efficient. Again, if you're getting in the middle of people.
If I'm not trolling, I believe
Well,
so.
it's just like a lot less, basically. So now, instead of
this item, you're diving in and immediately you get
Like-
CC'd as soon as you're in amongst 5 people.
she
then
was
that's 50/50
okay.
protection,
Yes, is
and
Kali
they'll
ass right now?
always be
Yes.
protected,
Is she
so
probably
you're-
one of the worst
so you're
characters in the
looking
game?
to
Yes.
kill them, so a fun item to play around.
Should there be a way to like change who you have your passive on? I think just making it so you could change it in base would have been sick.
All right.
But
I know for a fact if I dive directly at
the
them,
idea
they're
of
gonna
like
succeed
having to
in
choose
reaction.
your
And you feel, you know, it's big
your
Khepri brain
what's it
play,
called?
'cause you're like,
Target
oh,
before going into a fight.
your team.
It adds like a counterplay to the enemy team so they know what they need to do.
It's thematic to the tier.
And
threes
it
that
allows the
play in
Kali to kind of like
Spirit
choose
Road
who she wants to kill. Do we want to focus that frontliner so I get that 30% pen? Or do I want that heal when I'm diving the enemy ADC who's trading onto me? And now it's
Or
just
you can hold on to it for a while too.
pick a frontliner? Oh, maybe the frontliner is
Just joining in the fire.
is
Yeah, once
you know
upon a time,
backing or
this
something like
item,
that, and
was
I can just
one of
jump
the
on
best
someone else
items
and then
in
choose
the game.
them.
The best item in the
But
game.
that's the
That,
other problem is
mantra
bad
has
players are
gone
going to
up
be
quite a bit,
leaping
so
in
it
every
has,
fight now and just fucking dying.
Defensive items have been added to the game.
Dude, it says it decreased physical pen from 10% to 5%. So I'm assuming that's, you know, that's
so it's gonna
since
feel
it
a
scales
little
up,
bit
it's
nicer
got to
to
be
buy
affected,
into,
right?
Have that extra mantle stun if you need it to get away.
Yeah.
Either way,
Good
it's a
stuff.
like
All
that's
right,
an
so we've
actual
done-
nerf.
talked about
I
the
don't
items.
really. I like what you said, targeting in the base,
So
so you can, you know, change it whenever you get put on a fucking shitty solo or something you can't kill.
Yeah, a side you don't want to go to, or maybe you don't want to go to the Heimdall ADC, so you play the other side.
Yeah, I actually think they had as many nerfs, like they had more bigger nerfs than buffs in this patch for gods. You might like Ardio. I don't know enough about Ardio, so Ardio got some changes you might like.
I think she just has the issue of being an old character, so
starting with the
Yeah, well, they didn't make her a new character, I'll tell you that.
the only reason that she's okay is because tank items are so OP right now.
And these are things that provide cross-gen skins for Smite 2. So
Does it feel good hearing a tank player admit their items are OP?
buy in, earn the level throughout the update, get a bunch of beautiful cosmetics for Smite 1, and then some cross-gen Smite 2 skins as well, which are always fun to look at. So let's start by
Yeah, I don't
first
mean
up
to be
then,
negative,
which
guys, but
is,
it's just
ceramic circuit collie.
Ceramic. Oh, yeah,
Oh.
ceramic.
I'm just so
Ceramic is indeed
upset
that material.
about the
Not quite as
patch.
nice looking as the who was that? Discordia ceramic skin? I
Tank
think.
player in
Very
SPL.
polished,
Yeah.
prim, proper. This is a bit more
Battle
She has
Wall.
blood on her
airy.
face. Yeah. Less
What
polished.
kind of event is she crashing in on here? My goodness.
I don't know.
A
It's
wedding, yeah.
a wedding, a gala maybe. They have like the stacked wine glasses or whatever, so you know it's a fancy event. Like, but yeah, I mean, what else is to be said? She's horrifying and made of porcelain.
Oh.
Wow, yeah,
okay.
very shiny.
Whoa, yeah, that like glows.
Look at the textile too. You can see all of that like energy coursing through the circuitry. I like the like transparent
floating
level of the
arms.
material too.
Yeah.
Oh, and the arms, dude! I didn't
I mean, that's a
notice
pretty
that.
cool skin.
That's so cool.
Man, whoa.
Yeah, what a unique presentation for a four-armed character to have just the two kind of floating back there.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
I just can't get over like the immediate transition to wow, that thing is shining.
Yeah, that's
So
fine,
it's
Mario.
probably looking really good here. Let's check out the Smite 2 render for this one.
Yeah, if it was shiny in Smite 1, it's gonna be
Yeah,
shiny in
I
Smite
bet.
2 even more.
What the textures on the weapon actually is what really stands out to me. You get the
Yeah.
the highs and the lows of like those
Like the
dark bits.
engrave.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah, the engravings. Super, super cool. Love
Awesome.
how like shiny it is.
I
That's
agree.
just so cool.
I agree. Yeah, I'm a fan of shiny. I don't know. It's just because I have the brain of a pelican.
Shiny.
So to move on in the Doom Circuit Cross Gen Pass, we have Nanomancer Baron Somdi.
This scene is so cool.
It says, "Look
Yeah,
at this
always
smile."
like this.
So good.
It's just really creepy.
I love when smiling, which is generally, you know, a happy, a joyous, a wonderful. I love when you can find a way to make it that
Evil,
threatening.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to go up against that Baron, let me just say.
No, I think
Oh,
the
and is
red
that his
piercing
coffin?
eyes.
Oh,
Oh,
he is
yeah, I
coming out
guess
of his
it would
coffin,
be.
yeah.
That's so cool.
Swirling void inside the coffin.
Mhm.
Yeah, you do not want to get.
No way, that's what they're doing,
ulted in
Pluto.
there. That's
They're not
not
just
the life of the party.
raising
Yeah.
base
I think
HP
they're lying to
and
me.
prots, right?
You end up going where he came from. Okay, that's so cool.
Dude. Oh, I love the jacket.
Look at how happy that.
Oh, I see. So styling. Isn't he supposed to be a scary robot?
Baron's always styling.
Bro,
Doesn't
someone
matter.
steal his look.
Like, look at that do as well. Like, my boy. That's
rock
just
star
Baron.
here. Yeah.
And, like, no matter what form he takes, no matter if he's a cartoon skeleton or a scary robot from alternate red dimension, like, he is always styling on him.
Oh yeah.
It's just the Baron way. It's one of the things I love about him the most, I think. I also love the skull on top of the staff, by the way. Can we shout out how high definition that looks? Like, it's just a really well-made skull. Yeah, we gotta wait for that, like, the pan. Like, look at
Yeah,
that.
there it is.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right, let's check this out.
Reminds me of the skull from Bancho and
Again
Kazooie.
with the metals.
Right?
Yeah.
We're always shouting out the textures, and really that plus the lighting.
See
is what
Mario.
stands out the
Level
most
up.
here.
Yeah.
What's up,
Yeah, look at the
Grayley?
lighting from the snake as well.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Imagine that in game. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can see kind of the lights coming out of the rib cage as well.
So
just
I
love
got
how, like,
information
surrounded
that
it feels, because you
apparently
can see
they are the only
effect
two
that
devs working on
Snake
Smite
has
1.
on like that left side of his clothes as well, where it's the light is coming from the
It's
snake.
just Ro and Lermy.
I'm
Yeah,
constantly drawn to the
literally just
big
them.
red
No one
eyes
else.
on both the skull and on his head with no eyelids to like sort, like it's you get the full circle of the eye. Very threatening to me for some reason. Like
Yeah,
because
what is
That's
it with
actually
the eyes
crazy.
attached, guys? What's going on?
that's true. Talk to our design team. They,
How is that even
they
allowed?
on them. Make sure
Who's
they're-
who's managing that?
Let's go
Like
back there.
who's
Let's just say that this is the Doom Circuit Cross Gen Pass. You can look forward to this one
Bobby?
in the next update, which is next Tuesday.
What are they even
Oh,
supposed to
it's so
do?
crazy to say that. It's been the
That guy said if it's just them, I don't blame them. Like
Yeah,
they
okay,
can't-
on fly,
I mean,
so it still
the
feels
patch
weird.
isn't
But yeah,
great,
it's
but,
only 5
like-
days away. Like the update's right around the corner. So
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
I'm really excited
Agreed.
about
Solid
this.
patch under those circumstances. What the fuck?
We have the Summer Sizzle event. So the Summer Sizzle event is similar to events of the past you may have seen. There's going to be a variety of cosmetics, skins, and other cosmetics throughout the event. And obtaining at least 3 items from the event, from the Summer Sizzle event, will net you a Donzaburo skin, which we will talk about in just a second.
I feel like
We're
that's
gonna-
just-
We're not going to jump this one. We're going to get there in just a second. So
That just doesn't make
you've had events
sense.
like this in the past. I'm sure you're similar, but this one
It
has
just
some
does not
really
make any
fun-
sense.
Really fun skins that I'm excited to talk about. And the first is the Mighty Mutt Fenrir.
I just gotta.
Oh my god.
I just gotta stop for a second,
What
and
a
just
boy.
absorb what we're looking at here.
Playing fetch.
That's Tyr's hand.
Oh
Oh!
no.
Oh,
Oh no.
oh, but he's such a
Yeah,
good
there's literally
boy.
2 devs on the game. It's Lermy and it's
Bulbous
Ro,
eyes.
and that's
Here we are
it.
with The eyes
Yeah.
again. Okay.
Oh gosh. Yeah, that
Oh,
is a
this is-
that's
This
an
is
interesting
Fenrir.
take.
This is
on
actually a good skin.
a scary dog.
It
Different
says
kind
Fen
of scary.
Pug on the dog
Low
tag.
key good skin.
Oh.
It's Fen Pug.
Fenrir has such like unique proportions as well, with like his lower half being smaller, so it looks really funny on this skin
Yeah.
with the huge head too.
Yeah, you
Yo,
might think, like,
Bixby.
oh, forced perspective, but
Thank you,
Oh
thank you
my
for the
God,
sub,
and he's
man.
drilling.
Yeah.
You know what a vibe it makes me? You remember the live
Thank you, thank
action
you. Need some hype
Scooby
in the
when
chat for the
Scrappy, like, got
boy,
mid
Bixby.
transformation and stuff?
fucking
That's
tasty,
what
you know what I'm saying?
get
oh
from it.
wow. I love the flame collar though.
This
Straight
skin
from
is actually good.
Cybertron.
Yeah, he's styling for sure.
He is.
This might be the
That
best,
is
second best
one
thing about the
proper
entire
puss.
patch.
Every time he gets to the face, like there's
drool.
potential
So
for it
much
to be
drool.
threatening. But then you see the face and the eyes.
Does Fenrir drool like that naturally, or is that just for the skin?
I think that's just the skin. I think this is new.
This little curly
Goofy
cute
skin?
tail.
I like it.
Aw, so
Oh,
cute.
what a
How many
what a
Fenrir
little
games are we getting from
kid.
Oceans? No, I haven't seen the
Well,
odd
Funky
balance.
Bites.
Yeah.
We saw how he was.
Ill-advised,
putting
I
the
think.
hand. Yeah. Let's look at the Smite 2 render for this guy.
Oh.
Aww.
Why does he look so much sillier?
Let's say he
already?
looks so much more innocent now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not as menacing.
Like what a threatening pose for what an adorable face.
Yeah, yeah.
I do really like the upgrades to the fur texture here. It really looks like he's got hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even
Oh.
like around the mouth as well. That skin texture is really good there
Yeah, the
too.
folds and the wrinkles.
Yeah.
Imagine the drool in Smite 2.
Oh, gosh.
High fidelity drool.
High fidelity drool.
Yeah. So
That's
just
what
It
we
doesn't
wanted.
even look like hair.
yeah, it's what you've been
Looks like
asking for.
wood.
All right.
Looks like a
so
wooden
next
pipe.
up, here's one that I'm sure that y'all will enjoy.
Yeah.
Where are
I'm
you
not gonna
seeing the
premise this
peak
one. We're just
player
gonna
drop?
Baltimore made them Oregon.
Oh,
You know, like
What
the
can I
Steam
say?
chart?
you know, I haven't
Yeah,
seen
I'm on
art
here right
before.
now.
You
Are
have-
you looking
I
back
haven't seen art
like?
before,
Name
but,
yourself, me in the bottom right.
I'm trying to see where the
That's all I have.
15K
I
peak
think the
was.
art team knew what they were doing.
I was
with
saying
this
from
one.
last
I'm
month it was
just gonna say that.
15K.
They knew
I
for
think
sure.
I think that there was a mighty inspiration.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
share. I'll share you what I'm looking at.
Yeah, what an interesting theme as well.
Since for me it
A
says
waitress,
it's the
but a
same in the
dock
last
waitress
30 days.
specifically.
Yeah, I will. shout
Yeah.
out to a
The last
restaurant.
30 days, it
Man,
peaked.
I don't- again,
So-
Griddle.
yeah.
Let me know when you're in here.
Oh, I see what you're
So
saying.
many
You're saying in
words
the
and so
last.
few that are gonna be said.
Okay,
This is a
you're
good
saying the previous
sign.
days it's only been 10 or 11, and it was 15 for the last month.
In the past week, it's been about
Like, the guy in
11K.
the bottom right was
Beginning
eating
of
the other
May,
skins.
it was
Did
sitting
you
at
see that lot,
15K.
like,
So
the
1
Yeah.
month later, it's now down to
Oh,
The
11K.
dude.
only ones
Or
that
for,
like,
yeah.
maybe an Apollo or
Yeah,
a
dude.
Mercury.
All
What
right.
new game we playing, guys?
I could see that.
Anybody got any ideas? New game?
Holy.
Well, there's
Double
Rob.
J, I'm in shock, pal.
Guys, are we coming league players?
So
Let's hear
bad.
it in game.
Oh, wait, we might.
I am in shock
She is
right now.
stylish. Look at that makeup too.
Let's league it up, bro.
Oh, look at the
Got the
pins.
notepad.
Shing Chen Burger, Chef Vulcan pins, dude.
I-
She knows her smite.
I can't
lore, my
believe
God.
this.
She does. She's caught up on it. So looking
Devs cooking it
absolutely
up.
Fierce. She's
I
got-
can't believe
she's
they
got
only
it
have
all.
2
Let's
devs
check
working on the
this one
game.
out. Let's
We
find
have
it.
to, please. Dude.
'Cause they are
This
putting a
is
lot of eggs in one basket, let me tell you what.
I don't think I've
Dude, that's
ever
what I'm
seen
saying.
a
There's so much
spatula that
pressure
big
on
before.
Smite
It's
2
almost
now.
like a rake.
Yeah.
Rake size.
Like they're not
I
they're
do
not
buy one of those.
trying to
Yeah,
keep it
big
easy.
Pancakes, apparently.
And
Alright,
the,
let's hear those effects. I'm
Yeah,
excited.
let's check it out.
The trying to keep Smite 1 alive for like they're not planning on killing Smite 1 once Smite 2 is brought.
Again, it's one of
Oh,
those.
that's-
Are they gonna do that with
That's
2
a
devs?
lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smite
what
2
are
is
they
dead
doing?
as soon as Smite 2 or Smite 1 is
That's
dead as soon as
never
Smite
gonna
2 drops.
work.
Two is better than one.
Just no, there's no universe.
true.
Yeah, they only have 2 devs on Smite 1.
This is a dangerous game we're playing.
You know what?
That doesn't look like a god way.
Yeah. Let's go
That looks
back.
like
Let's go
old.
back.
This isn't as entertaining. We need to go back.
But no, a really cool
The
skin. And
effects
yeah,
are cool,
again,
yeah.
I like that the effects kind of match the aesthetic of the skin itself. but also
Did they do God balance already? Did they show that, or are they doing skins for the
highlighting,
rest?
so
They
I don't
did
think they've done gods
skin,
yet.
very
They did
thematic.
skins,
That's one of the things I love. about
items,
Smite, man, is, like,
skins,
they'll see
and that's what we're on right now.
fun items that you can do.
Fuck me.
Well executed as well.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
like our team knows how to have fun.
The
Man, I love it.
fashion as well.
Yeah,
just
I
so
love the
fun.
people I work with. This is a cool place, man. All right, so that is one of the other skins in the Summer Sizzle event, but there is one more. What is summertime without a little bit of a party? And we'll see that after we see. The
Yeah,
Summer
it's
Sizzle.
crazy,
See, I was
Mini.
holding out on y'all. I was
Hey,
Yeah.
there we go. I don't know what to say again other than like
No,
the
yeah,
textures just
it's-
Yeah,
feel
it's
so
just such a level up every time. It's
so
crazy.
good. You
Yeah.
can see like the individual straws in the pocket as well.
Yeah, Mori was
The
already
shine of
confirmed, I
each
think.
individual
What
link
did I
on the
miss?
chain.
Tier
the
2 items
material
have
of the
useless
apron,
passives now.
Like,
Such a level of detail that like it's crazy to imagine. Like I played.
You're
Smite
right,
back
Timbo.
in
They didn't promise it would be
2012, and
good.
now we're here in 2024 where we're getting this level of detail from the same game. It's awesome.
yeah, I mean, my earlier Smite play was probably closer to the 2014 times, but even still, you know, like you see a game and you're like, wow,
Who's that,
what an
Bologna?
incredible game. And then 10 years later, moving on. To
the
second
Morgan.
game, moving into a new
Oh,
one,
yeah.
it's just.
I don't know why she has a
count the
spatula,
ways that
but
you can point out what a
So
jerk
she is
does.
gonna be in
I
Smite
can't wait
too.
to see how
Yeah,
the
she was already
animations and
confirmed.
effects have leveled up as well
Oh,
because you already
I knew
know
that.
that's gonna look really
Yeah.
cool.
yeah, I believe
All
that.
right, so I teased this one.
How-
a little
how
earlier
buggy
while I
is
was
her
playing
all
on the
gonna be in
Smite
that game?
Surrender. It's party time. It's summertime.
Surely it's not going to have like many issues, right?
Yeah.
No, it's got a really good track record.
Yep.
What?
It's so small too. It's
They
funny.
are so small.
Did you ever think you'd get to
I
a
just
point where
love
the
this
skins
theme.
are
Just
like
a
the best part about
completely
patch
different
notes?
animal. It's all like a little fox guy.
Yeah, yeah.
That's so cool.
I have.
Obviously, the
I
life of
haven't.
the party, though,
You're
homeboy in the
trolling.
back left has-
Bro, you're trying to tell me that the Pug Fenrir skin and this Danzaburo skin aren't the reasons you want to play
Okay.
Fenrir and
Might be
Dan's?
famous.
Yeah, the height
Not the
of
tier
Yeah,
2
yeah,
items?
right.
It does look like he's
The
having a
bug
lot
skin
of fun.
really sold me on
Those
Fenrir.
fingerless gloves. Is my boy rocking?
Bro, Fenrir is so bad anyway. Who the fuck wants to play Fenrir in Smite 1?
I don't know how that stands.
Gotta
That's
play
a Smite
mid
2
lane
skin.
Fen.
That's a Smite 2 skin, bro. They're just putting it in Smite 1 to try to make a little their money sooner.
Or he spilled a drink on them. There's
Yeah.
Actually,
So.
Oh,
Oh,
dude,
look
look
at
at
the
that
gun.
weapon.
Air Blaster 2000, I think.
Oh, dude, he's so cute.
He is. I love his little backpack.
That is
my boy's
adorable.
prepared for the party.
He's got a little ticket on the back there. Yeah, he's ready.
Oh, dude, that looks like the SWC.
Oh, that's really cool.
Got
That's
mine, like,
so
That's a great
fun.
ad.
Office.
Yeah.
Bro, that's really cool.
Yeah,
I
dude.
just
That's
love
so sick.
Danzaburo too. Like, what a character.
He's just such a happy little guy, and I feel like this
I like this
vibe
skin,
fits
though.
him perfectly.
What's up, Dreezy?
He's always needed leopard pants, honestly.
I feel like he shakes his
He
hips a
should've
lot.
just, like,
yeah,
thrown in old broken items in the game again and see what happened.
Yep.
Dude,
That's what we
I
said.
thought was happening. That's what
Really?
I thought was happening.
That's funny.
QR code.
Yesterday, I jokingly said, if it's just tier 2 items with, no new tier 3s, I'm gonna uninstall. Like thinking, haha, funny, like we're gonna get a bunch of tier 3 items and we're gonna get Nemean and stuff, and then it's real. This is like my worst nightmare.
We should have just put Fatalis back in the game, put all the stupid, hilariously broken items back in the game. Who cares?
Fatalis, Nemean, fucking, like any OP item you could think of. I thought we were getting, what's the crit item that they took out? That used to be like core? It's Wind Demon now, but it used to be something else.
Demon Blade.
Demon Blade, right?
Wait, no, Demon Blade's the current one. Wind Demon is the old one.
Wind Demon, yeah, I thought they were putting Wind Demon back. I thought we were getting
Shadow Steel Shuriken.
What was the one? Malice back?
yeah,
in the
Shadow
game?
Steel. I thought we were getting some crazy shit, dude.
Battle bus.
You got that tier 2 item that gives you 1% of your mana every time you hit somebody, though.
Oh yeah. I see that there.
That's pretty massive if you think about it.
Oh, so he's only okay. That's really sick.
Oh, that's
That
smart,
is
yeah.
so awesome.
That's so cool, dude. Yeah. That's awesome.
All right, let's see.
The patch isn't great.
There's a VXG we should see.
No, they kind of started to take good steps with like
Oh,
duality and whatever.
Oh my god.
on the dance floor as
Stormseeker.
So good.
Cool.
Duality
items.
didn't get changed, right?
Very unique. What?
Duality is just tier 2 stats, right? It's no, it didn't get changed.
No, but I'm saying they were on the right path when they added those. items.
Adding, yeah, trying to be
Very
unique and spicy, yeah.
Cool items, and then they went.
That's a
Man,
better
what the
mid-patch than this
T2s
one
were
is.
Kind of cool.
Dude, he's
Yeah,
breaking.
no, this
my God,
doesn't.
the class.
This doesn't feel like a mid-season patch.
Okay, sidetrack because
adorable.
Andy's in my stream. Do you guys think you could beat a wild boar in a fight to the death? In
No.
1v1?
Ah. Think
Are we
about
talking
it.
just like average wild boar size? Or are we talking like I can find the smallest one possible?
No, you don't fight. It's wild boar. Like you're out in like fucking Florida or wherever, and a wild boar rolls up on you. You think you're beating it?
It was a great.
Like I have to kill it or it's gonna kill me?
Yeah, you don't have weapons.
No, it'll
Yeah,
kill
it's you
me.
versus
My
it.
problem
No
is
weapons.
I don't know how I kill it.
Okay, if you Google it, it says humans have a 0% chance of
Yeah, I'm
winning.
not killing it.
And Andy swears he could beat one in a
No,
fight.
Andy's trolling.
It says,
Bro, they have,
it
like-
says that they just kill people for fun. Like they currently, like they actively will kill people when
Yeah,
they see them. Like
That's why people are starting to hunt them because they're what is it, invasive species, and they just kill everything.
Invasive, they're deadly.
They fuck
Yeah,
stuff
they're
up.
fucking terrible.
I mean,
Yeah.
obviously we say this about
And Andy's like,
things, right?
I could
But,
beat it in a 1v1. I'm like, bro, you're
Andy's
trolling.
trolling.
I think he also thinks he could beat a chimp in a 1v1.
Oh, that's
Which
crazy.
is
No, that's
crazy.
crazy. They
I
have,
think
like,
he
6
probably has
times
a
the
better
strength of a
chance.
human.
He probably has a better chance beating the chimp than he does to beat the boar.
Probably, but I don't think he's ever beaten a chimp either. I think it's 0% versus
It's probably
0%.
both 0%, but
He had an ant on there that he would 100% beat, and I told him that might honestly beat him at that.
I mean, that's
This
like
point, dude.
throw the dance floor on top of that. So they're dancing whether they like it or not.
All right, I'm getting.
The chimps have like 3 times the strength of humans. Like they can just like rip your
their
limbs
muscle
off for
fiber is
fun.
like super dense.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'd love
I
that.
think that's like a.
Oh.
I don't think you ever against a pissed off chimp. You're not winning.
Yeah,
so awesome.
wild boars.
Andy,
Andy, if you can hear me, wild boars can grow up to 4 feet tall.
Whoa, that's a big boy.
Oh, y'all are the goats. That's why I love y'all. Okay, cool. That was the Summer Sizzle event. Yeah, and again, that'll come with the next update. Donsboro's
They're standing as tall as Andy is, and then they have like their entire rest of their body.
Okay. Okay.
Party.
Oh, that's fucked up.
So now we've talked about some cool new cosmetics. Let's dive.
Andy
back
needs to
into
join the
balance
call to
land
defend
one more
himself,
time.
I think. At this point, Jesus, we're taking just free shots on him.
I just want to know how he's gonna kill it. Like, is he just ripping the head off?
Yeah, I don't know how you. That's my thing. Is like,
Say hi, Bobby. Say hi, Bobby.
So to kind of preamble.
Say hi, Double J.
he hates us.
Can you say Riley stinks?
Oh, not that. Maybe
Wow.
spitting facts.
Okay, what's your car?
Are too crazy in really any direction. The only
He's got
character
a car
that we
already,
felt like
man?
we have
Come
been
on.
really united on and seeing a lot of discussion about
You wanna get
since
down?
bonus bounce, especially is
Lancelot.
Vulcan,
Yes.
and that is why we've got
Vulcan?
Vulcan on our list here. He is the only character that will be receiving.
Wait,
a nerf
why
in
are they
this patch.
nerfing
Everybody else getting some
Vulcan?
buffs. You love to see buffs, but
Sorry
let's
about
talk
that.
about
Yeah, Vulcan's nerfed.
So
That's
Why
crazy.
That's bad. Like that's actually really bad.
We're giving his Inferno Cannon the ability to proc
Increase
ability
cooldown
effects.
on backfire.
And that certainly did help him out quite
decrease
a lot.
cannon
We did
damage.
see his
What?
popularity go up a ton, which is
good.
always awesome. We love to see that.
Okay.
But his win rate
Oh,
also
I don't
spiked
think
up
Vulcan's
quite
a
bit as
top
well.
10 mage in the
We're
game.
taking down
I don't either.
the backfire cooldown, or rather pushing it up to make you have it less often. Same idea with Inferno Cannon, and then we're also taking down the damage in the late game. Specifically the late game, because early game, you're not having any of those proc
And we're back to
items, so
nerfing
really
stuff
that
instead of
didn't affect it
buffing
at all.
stuff again, so
But we
that's
wanna make
cool.
sure that
What?
when you're proccing the items, you're getting a little bit less damage across the board.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Simple as that.
Yeah, sorry, Vulcan players. All
Had to
right.
happen.
So next up, Cupid, little dude.
Oh, Cupid. So you'll see we kind of have these bunched into a couple of categories here. We're in our
Cupid's
hunter
getting
category
extra basic
of
attack
some
power.
Either
yeah.
performing,
This
low
game is different
popularity,
now.
kind of any of those combinations.
Can't forget about him.
Of characters. Cupid is amongst them. And what you'll see here is we'll just talk about what we do first, and we'll talk about why. So what we're
Saying
doing
that kind of
is increasing
unironically,
his
but this is
basic
actually a
attack
decent
power
buff.
From 32
The
to
character
38,
might be
so that's what you get at
worst
level
god in the
1.
game. It's
and
up
then
there.
per level, we're increasing from 2.3 to 2.5. He was just on the very low end of things.
Very
and as
low
a
end, yeah.
character with not very many abilities that do damage, you do have to rely on your basic attacks for a lot of that heavy lifting, and he just wasn't comparing to other characters that had a similar number of abilities that deal damage. So that's step number 1. Let's talk about number 2, which is Heart Bomb. Mana cost going down, very simple. Not by a lot, but just enough so that you can feel it, not have to worry too much about making sure that your support or whatever lane, arena,
Picks up your
assault
things, yeah.
is picking up your heart. Not a big deal for him in the early game, especially. Going to be very nice. But Flutter, this is the big change.
The fun one. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, so Flutter, when you level up this ability, you get passive attack speed. But as many long tenured players will
Like, what a
remember,
useless
Cupid once
change.
upon a time had that attack
Oh,
speed
here we go.
After he dashed.
when he dashed, yes. So after a dash. So now, instead of
board
just
guy
getting
over here.
a little bit of attack speed,
Bro,
you're gonna get
yo.
that
This is hype.
doubled
This is
when
hype right
you,
here, right?
Dash for the next 4 seconds.
Yeah, what a massive
Your
change.
passive
You guys
attack
want to get on
speed
PTS and
already
take
goes up
turns
to
trying Cupid?
20%, something like that.
Yeah, you might want to jungle
Yeah,
Cupid
maybe
with Eye of the Jungle now. Extra
But
movement
it's
speed
double
and
when
extra
you
attack
dash.
speed when he
If you're dashing
dashes.
and you're really committing to
I think
the
somebody
team
has to
fight, you're getting
donate
extra DPS,
to me
and
for me to play
remembering your buff
Cupid.
is
I think they have to
literally-
donate for me to
I
play
literally
Smite at this
said that.
point.
Again, just a lot more
Yeah, I
damage
think
when you
I'm.
commit to the team fight.
One
Dude.
thing that we've noticed with Cupid is that he tends to...
5
Alright,
subs
what new
for
game?
one
What
Smite
new game,
game.
guys? Quick, start thinking. What new game are we gonna play?
That might be low ball. Dude, the worst thing is there's nothing we can play on stream.
No.
Andy, you
Another
teaching us
game?
Dota?
For the last couple of patches. So
Oh, that might be fire. Wait a
That'd
minute.
be so dumb.
Next up on the hunter.
That'd be actually really
I
fun.
saw you try to teach. You tried to
Yeah, so
teach
he's
Kurt
gonna be
League of
targeting
Legends,
quite
and he
a
was
lot
even
here.
struggling with that
And
game.
Honestly, he has been doing...
Oh wait, whoa!
Might have to teach
I
Kurt
out-jungled the
Pokemon Go
Diamond player
first.
My third game. I didn't even know what I was doing.
Even when he was,
I could tell. You don't have to tell me that. I knew you didn't know what you were doing.
Did you peak plat in that game, bro? I'm
I
3
played
games
for
in,
1
bro.
year and peaked plat.
I played for 0 years.
And peaked?
Yeah, just a couple
I
of
haven't
small
peaked. I haven't
buffs
played
Exactly.
ranked yet. I'm
Exactly.
beating diamond players, bro.
Damage. So that's just when you hit someone with the bag, and then also
Also,
getting a
bro, I
slight amount of
guarantee take out a
increased
chimp, bro.
explosion damage.
There's no world. Alright.
There's no way.
Google it.
Look at the stats, bro.
Can a human
you want to make sure that you're feeling worth it.
beat
You
a
have to
chimp
go
in a
all the way
1v1?
back and then throw it out.
in a fight?
Yep. Before it was just not healing enough to really feel
J-
worth it.
AI,
So
Google
Yeah,
AI.
I don't love the patch either, Night Shadow.
Says chimpanzees are 1.35 times stronger than humans, pound for pound.
That's nothing.
Specifically, so a little bit more potential for you to get in the early game. Not so much.
Bro, he's
in the late game, but it is
0.35
gonna be
stronger than the
really
average
more in the
human.
late game, so you're not gonna
Bro,
feel as
I'm
bad
fucking that
about
monkey
going
up,
for that
bro.
drink. Finally, Uproarious Rocket.
He tears one limb, I'm fucking triangle choking him and grabbing him.
So it says that chimpanzees can bench press the same amount. Alright, it's bench press the same amount as a human, which is usually around 250 pounds. But because they're smaller, their strength is twice. They're twice as strong.
Right, instead of just like, you know,
So like,
if you're just picking up a
they're still gonna fuck you up, bro.
Yeah, they'll fuck me up, no doubt. I'll be bleeding. I'll have some maybe missing.
You'll be gone. You won't exist, bro.
And drive into the hunter, you'll also hit the mage.
Chimpanzees are violent fighters who use their arms to slam, hammer, drag, stomp, and pull.
The next hunter in line.
And they also use tree branches and stones as weapons.
And he's a violent fighter.
They
He'll
got
take him.
tools, it's over.
Yeah, if they allow rocks in this fight, bro.
Andy, they run 25 miles an hour.
Bro, I
You're
run like
cool, you're
15,
done.
bro. I'm chilling, bro. I'm what you saying out there. He always gonna be running away. He has to fight. As soon as he touches me, he's dead.
For quite a long time.
Bro, we have to do. I need to stream this.
It literally
Wait a
says.
minute.
It
Chimp
says
fights.
you.
Let's
It
get
says you
him
might
going.
have a chance at surviving a punch. A singular punch.
Bro, go on
You
YouTube
might.
and look at a chimp fighting, bro. This dude just slaps himself, bro.
Which is going to feel very nice, especially because you have to spend a lot of mana to go across the sky in your
I think
chariot,
we're
so you want to make sure
doing
you have
something
mana for
worse
that.
than Michael
And then
Vick here with
this
chimp
one, the
fights,
biggest one
guys.
is
I don't know if we can
which is the
sanction
move.
this.
Yeah, Andy
Yeah,
wanted to
the
fight a
buff
fucking
duration
crocodile.
of the movement speed that you
And I'm like, I'm
Gator,
pretty sure you
gator.
can't just stream yourself fighting crocodile. You gotta, you know, there's some kind of like
That's right, yeah.
like
Really, I
rule
just
set you
wanna
gotta
encourage
follow when
people
you're fucking
to
capturing them or some
dash
shit.
around their enemy,
I don't know, bro.
around their
Tfu's out here
allies that share that
fucking
movement speed. You
playing
can't
gunning
Fortnite
down
with
the
fucking pigs,
boars.
bro. So I think I could take on a gator.
Get your wave.
This is a pretty cool change, the moves thing.
Yep. So I think
The
this
buff
is a fun
lasting
one.
longer?
5 seconds is quite a long time for a good movement speed increase.
You beating a shark?
Sure. So, and I mean,
On
several
land.
times we talked about the importance
Okay.
of
At least we're being somewhat
but
realistic.
now we're kind of out of contract and moving into a bit more of a meta block, I'd say,
Yeah.
starting with
Dude, these changes
Baron is an interesting character
blow
because,
my
again,
mind
he
because
does
there's
do
nothing
you wanna play a
spicy.
tank,
There's
you
no
can play a
like,
tank.
oh
If you
shit,
wanna play a
someone's
mage,
OP
you can
now.
play a mage. But
At
both
all
of
from
them,
this.
He just sits kind of in the middle, doesn't do
A lot
either
of
particularly
nerfs.
amazing. So what we're
Again.
doing is
I
we're
I mean,
don't know
making
what
it
they're
like
nerfing.
more in
Apollo
line in
gets his
both
buff
of those
longer on his
areas.
3 and
And
costs
it's
less
not
mana on
too
one
crazy
ability but more on
direction.
another.
One place that we're starting is his base
The
health,
thing
which
is
just
these
what's
change
not
would be
Riveting.
fine if Smite
Fighting
1 was
for
still the main game.
bruisery
Like
type
not
characters.
like the
Not
balance, the god
tiny,
balance I
even
mean.
charge
And if
up,
this
the
wasn't
tiny
like a
characters that need to
mid-season
do little
patch.
things,
Like
or
if
the
we
characters
had
that
3
do have
more
some
new
sustain,
gods
you have
and
some
Yeah.
safety, but
and
not
like
the
normal
most,
shit
right?
have been
Baron
happening.
has a conditional movement speed increase.
This
and
is
he has
like
some CC, right? But
all the
it's not
patches
safest
they've done this
character,
year with like quality
really
of life and all that
at all.
should have been
He's
done like
getting
3 years
comparable
ago.
health, not
It's kind
Except
of
the
crazy.
Cryptus one.
with other characters,
The
but
instant
doing
immunity on
them
Cryptus
now.
3 makes me want to tear my hair out.
Yeah, and as well,
They're doing them now
Yeah,
because it's
we all
all
need
they
how
can
we play
do.
multiple
There's
places.
2 of
Yeah.
them working on the
Damage,
game, and
tanky,
they can't do anything
necessarily.
else.
For buffing his damage just a
Okay,
little bit with
there's
the
2
gaze, so when
devs
you hit
working on the
that-
game.
that
How many like
crossover point, it does that
coders
extra
and
bit of
shit do they
damage, so
have on the
10%
game?
goes
I guess that's
more
like
instead of 15%.
can't find that
I haven't
out.
seen the
But
audio changes
actually a
yet.
decent
'Cause,
chunk
like,
if you're hitting all those archers, for example,
if you're
that
just
helps you
spewing
clear it up,
ideas,
or if you just hit a
that's
guard,
one
you know,
thing.
it's
But
a-
if you actually have to implement them and don't have enough people, that's another thing too.
Yeah, I don't know.
This one's gonna look a little bit weird, but we'll kind of break down why this looks the way that it does. So wrap it up. This ability.
I'm
is
assuming
a
they're not
slow
just sitting there
to
like
reach
writing on a
section where
whiteboard and
you're
then
decreasing
10 other
the
people are
duration
going
of the
and making their
increasing
ideas
the
reality, right?
duration
Like,
of the
Yeah.
loop. So what that means
I'm pretty
is that
sure
they're spending less time
unless
slow, that slow is ramping up
I
faster,
misremember,
and
because
then
I
they're
sat on
losing
these
afterwards,
meetings
which is pretty
last
important
year.
considering, especially since
Most of
they
these
take the way
changes
that
they can do
Bruce and
themselves.
Mark
They just have to go into like a little
Baron
document and just like
doesn't
change the
super
number.
DR himself
Mhm.
very well,
Which is
you
why
can
I assume that they're
do
just doing
those
number
things that
changes
doesn't
and why
happen
they're not
too
doing
much,
like
but this is
actual
really
changes because they don't
important
have.
for
I
interactions
would not
of
be
your
surprised if it is
teammates,
literally just these 2
but
on
it
the
is going to
game,
help him have
and that's
Yeah,
why
they
they
have no
cannot
coders.
make any big changes.
having that set
they
up
have
for
no
himself.
coders, or they have to like go and
Just
ask
putting more
somebody
weight
to
on
do
the
it
hard
when
side
they
Yeah.
have time.
away some from the soft
Like, yeah,
side.
can you get this done for
Root
me
is
at
really
some point?
valuable, like Lermy said, for your allies as well. It can be kind of
And
hard
this
to hit
is,
a goal when they CC'd for
this
the
is
0.75
interesting,
per
that's for
second,
sure.
But surprisingly, 1 second makes it a lot easier. So just hitting that 1 second point for that root, and again, it can be DR'd if they've already been hard CC'd by something else. But yeah, just shifting.
long
some
is
from
this
the soft CC
been
onto
live?
The hard CC, which is inherently
Hour and a
slower.
half.
So this is a buff.
Already on a.
Holy.
I'm telling you, dude, they're doing it. There's definitely for ad revenue. There's no way.
A lot of other
But it's
things.
only
So, yeah,
1,200
definitely
people.
a
There's
buff.
nobody even watching this.
You're eating Baron.
That's what I'm
Somebody
saying.
said they don't even run ads on or like during patch notes.
Yeah, Poseidon
Really?
is
Oh, that's
a
surprising.
classic character, right? But he's just been kind of MIA.
Oh, Poseidon's back.
Okay, popularity because he's
On
just
the
a very
death screen all the time,
recognizable.
that's why.
What are they
a very
doing?
recognizable character, that, like Rose said, who does die.
Wait,
That is
apparently
a good question.
before they hired Ro, it was literally only Lermy on the game.
Yeah, that's what they told me.
Help him build up some of that tide meter. From
Like, these
0.87
changes
to
are never
0.95,
gonna
still
bring
similar
anyone to
scaling,
want to play
but
Smite
we're
1
also
again.
giving some
Like,
extra
no.
attack speed
nobody even
to
cares.
try
Nobody
to
even
go
thinks
a little
about
bit
0
more
point,
playing
like
around
point
that, tide
fucking.
meter. You can get it more
Attack speed on
with your
fucking
trident
bot.
as well, and your basic attacks is gonna feel
I mean,
really
the only
nice.
thing is, like I said, I
Keep that
think
movement speed, you
nostalgia
get a little bit
items.
safer, and be able to get
Bro, I
that
want to
extra boost
trident
damage as well,
someone and an
just a
extra
little bit
1
more
comes out when I hit him
consistent.
with
But that's not
6.
all. We've
That's
got
what I want.
more folks
That's
up next, we've got Whirlpool as well.
That's
This is, of course,
revolutionary.
the
Holy
iconic
fuck.
free. But this ability has kind of felt very lackluster, even with Gem of Isolation coming a little bit back in.
timing
I've been
change.
This guy have a
seeing
lot of
timing change with this as well.
damage to
Has
put.
made it a little bit better.
Dude,
Brandon,
Oceans and I
have a
might be able to
good-
win
have a
some
good
ranked
day.
games.
Peace out, Andy.
Take
Take care, boys.
Scaling
Later.
from 15
See you,
to
Andy.
20. And then, of course,
I miss him
the
already.
iconic, the Amazing, the Kraken. He's being released a little bit stronger, but in the center. The more accurate
Let's
you
take
are
a
with
look
it, the
at
more
Steam's
damage you're
new
doing.
and upcoming.
Previously, it was identical between the center and the outside, but now the center is going to be doing
Smite 2's
a
coming
bit
out
more
soon.
damage, and you're getting the
On top
knockup.
of the stun.
And you're getting the stun. It's going to feel real nice.
Yeah, I heard
for
that game's
those
got
very
like
accurate
tons of
skill
gods in
items.
it.
So you've got your consistent damage from these attack speed buffs. Maybe you can even build.
It's only an alpha, though, so it's got probably a lot of time left still.
We'll put in there, but then
Yeah,
again,
there's
you've
no
got
way
more
they would
options. When you
drop,
hit your combo, get
a
them stuck in your
24/7
three, a little bit more
playable
scaling from that.
game this year,
You can
right?
really hit the center of
Probably
the
won't.
No, they
like,
can't
a lot
because it's
more
an
things.
alpha. It doesn't mean anything.
55%
Just an alpha.
damage right in the middle. It's a lot.
Yeah, it really is. So for those of you who are good
The
at the
boopid.
whirlpool to center of ult combo, please stop. Scylla up next on our mage list.
Yeah, Scylla's another interesting character because she is very popular. People love Scylla, myself
great.
included. Don't get
She's
me
getting
wrong, I'm a
buffed?
Scylla enjoyer.
I'm not gonna lie,
When I
this
see her win
even
rate,
kind
oh
of
my God,
like,
it
I was
makes me
like,
wanna
cool,
cry.
Scylla, like, I was like, this
what we're
is
doing
dope,
here
but
for
then the more I
Scylla
thought
is that
about
we are
what,
decreasing the mana cost
all the other
from
shit.
Sikkim, which
was like, yeah.
100 mana
Yeah, that's
for
right,
an
never mind.
ultimate, just kind of insane
was a lot.
in the current ages of Smite.
Yeah,
so bringing it down,
maybe it's because I'm not really a
on
Scylla
that
player
regular
anymore, but
ability
even this,
from
I'm like,
60 to 100 to
okay.
now 60 to 80. Crush as well is getting an increase, a very slight increase. You know,
They're
10%
I feel like a fucking
Mana
idiot.
cost still,
I
I
feel like an
guess.
idiot too because I was like, I was one of those people that's like, yeah, there's no way they'll like, they're not gonna fuck up Smite 2. They'll, you know,
Sentinel, which is
they'll do this right. Smite 1 will die, but you know they won't. You know, they'll give us a couple updates to keep us playing.
Scylla's passive
It's
kind
just
of
been
gives her
the exact opposite of everything I fucking just said.
to getting
Everything I
you missed the mark.
You still do get the
Bro,
increased ward range from Sentinel when you rank it up to level 5, which is very nice. Don't get me wrong.
Man, you really had a
But the
bad
one
take
thing
there,
that's
huh?
Yeah.
Very weird for those Scylla players is that you only go a
I
little
remember
bit
Dragon-
off on this shit, bro,
when
and I
you rank
thought I
it up,
was
which has
being
just
like
felt
100
very
like out,
very
you know,
strange
just
for the field
reaching
as
and
a
being an
ability
idiot.
to.
With oh yeah,
So
they'll never
we
just
felt
drop tier
like
2
you
items
could
with tier 2
safely move it up
passives.
that 5 units.
I mean, they
for
do
all
have a
ranks
track
to really
record
kind of
for
unite that
fucking
feeling and
things
not
up
have this
royally, so.
very slight discrepancy
Realm
between
royale.
ranks 1 through 4.
I mean, at this
I
point,
think
it's
this
been
makes
a
it a lot more
different
intuitive as well.
fucking
Let's say you just finished
CEO's
playing
done it every
a Scylla
time.
game where you were level 20 for like 10 minutes.
True.
Yeah, no,
It's
they're
the
just
third
sucks.
like CEO that'll have the chance to fully really fucking
And then
in.
you get into a new game and like, oh, I can't jump over this wall anymore. It just wasn't intuitive. So
It
now the
is
distance is
impressive
the same
what
at
they're
all
doing.
ranks, but yes, you still get the extra vision, which is a
Do
lot
you
of
think
vision.
they're just rolling the
Yes,
dice
yes,
back there and
yes.
just?
And then, of course, we're
Dude,
also
I
increasing
honestly
SC5s
can't,
up a
from
little bit
no
with their
perspective, can I understand this.
extra mana
From a
sustain
player,
in their
from
early
like a
games.
business
In
side,
general, she had some
you know, as a
struggles
like a
in the game.
streamer, content
But
creator
with
for the
that
game,
10%
I don't
increased
get it.
damage on minions, so that is including the jungle camps as well.
I actually
she
think
should be able to clear a little
the
bit better in the
game,
early game,
or-
and then
or
you'll have more
like
mana
this
to
would
do
have
that.
been
It's
better
very important
received.
to note that a
They
lot
just
of these
changed
changes
nothing
are
and
not
said
PvP
we are putting
oriented.
literally
We
everything into
understand
Smite
that
2.
she
There will
Already
be no
strong
more
PvP.
changes.
Very good
We are sorry,
damage-wise. That's not the
but
goal
we
of
wanna
these
get Smite
changes.
2
The
right.
goal is to make
I'm
the
pretty
actual
sure I would
experience
rather
of
heard that
playing
than
her
this.
just a little bit
Yeah,
smoother,
I think
just a
I
little
would have
bit more
too. I'd have been
consistent
pissed,
going forward.
but
General overall polish.
I'm-
Nothing wrong with that. So,
I'm like,
Freya.
I'm
will
not
be
even
next on
pissed
our
right
list
now.
of,
I'm like
mages getting
I
bothered.
just don't know what do
Like,
I
it's a
do
worse
for the
feeling.
next.
We did
next 2 months.
We did a couple
I'm
buffs across the
bothered.
board to some of these.
I'm already out of
you know,
content.
items for
I have
magical
no
abilities,
more
but
for
Freya
like
was
2
still the
months.
one
Like,
that
what do I
seemed to be
do?
lagging behind
Bro,
out
trying to
of
think of
the
Surprisingly,
YouTube
yeah.
videos
I
to
was surprised
record
it
is
was Freya,
impossible.
But, you know, that's just
yeah,
how
it is. I said the same thing. I'm
Nobody
like, bro,
clicks
I
on
don't know.
anything.
Her base health was lagging significantly behind.
Bro,
Characters like
if you get
Ulrun, who has
10K
some
views on a
built-in
video
sustain,
right
does
now,
have
it's
a little
like
bit as well,
that's
but
a
it's more
solid
lifesteal,
amount.
You're
extra
doing
healing,
good.
You're
which
doing
does
good.
take a
It's
little bit
crazy.
of extra steps,
It's
you
so
might say,
bad.
20K,
for the
that's
Freya
like
player. So we are
insane
just bringing her
video.
a little bit closer
It's
in
so
line from
bad.
567 base to 610. That's not addressing the scaling at all because that's not changing. And then the only other thing that we're changing here is the banish cooldown from 19
it
to
is
15
brutal.
to 16 to 14. So a lot off at the top, but only a little bit off at the bottom.
Yeah, generally a pretty hard to hit ability if you're new to Freya as well. So having more chances.
mean, I
to
don't
hit it
blame
is
you,
really
Will.
Important, and I just want to encourage people to actually try to use that ability whenever possible because your teammate can.
I don't know, I
capitalize on
get
it very
a
easily,
lot
but
of
when it's a
comments that
19
are
second
just
cooldown,
like,
you're like, oh, I have to wait for the perfect
yeah,
moment.
I haven't
Otherwise,
played
if I
in
miss it, it's on a cooldown
a
for
year,
19
but
seconds. So
still watch your
16
videos
helping
every
quite
once
a
in a
bit.
while.
Obviously, it was down to
Well,
15 in late game before,
I
which is
even
already
have that
pretty good. We
option.
need to buff it
Most
just
people
a
that
little
watch
bit.
you right
So
now don't play the
16
game.
to 14, not much of a
I
difference.
mean, it's
Oh,
not
no, actually, that's a
Longzy.
lie. They'll come in and do do
when you're
Elo Hells and
comparing it to
stuff,
other
but for the
major
most
leagues
part, outside of
set up
that,
in
they're not
back
playing
end,
the.
like next closest one is like Merlin Flicker.
Yeah.
This ability is not like comparable in that same way. So it needed to come down quite a bit. Just a lot of extra setup for herself, safety, which is going to feel really nice. But again, Freya, another character that we
Have
understand
you
has
played
very,
the
very
NDA,
sensitive
other game
damage,
everyone's talking about yet?
ratios, so we don't want to mess with those. We feel like
Yeah,
those are
game
fine.
now.
It's really just the
You're gonna want to get
safety
access to
and
that.
the utility of this character that need a little bit of help.
Message me what
a
it
nice
is and
healthy,
everything.
healthy buff without
Yeah,
making her
I'll,
hyper threatening.
Is it a high res game? game?
So
No.
last but not least, in the
No.
Mage Circle,
Oh, okay, now we're talking.
Yeah, so this is another character. That's
This
very
game
sensitive to those
will
kind of
not
changes.
fail.
One thing that we
I mean,
noticed is that when we
it will not fail,
changed
so.
healing last year, this was around, I want to say,
If you're in my- are you in my chat open?
So around that time period, the healers were
I
very, very
can.
strong.
Oh.
And
Yeah,
then
I'll
we
just
kind of
read
took
what
them back a little bit,
chat
got
can
them
tell
more
you
in
since
line,
I
but that
am
heal
NDA,
remained
just can't say
very,
anything.
very low ever since.
It did,
And
yeah.
one thing that we have noticed from our healing players, there are a lot of players that really like to
Oh, yeah,
specialize
yeah.
in these healing characters
you're gonna want
and have
it.
this like support
I've
style
seen
mage,
some
is that
stuff on
healing
it.
has
How do
just
I
kind of
get?
felt very low
I
for
can
these
try to
characters,
get you
and
a
that
thing, but
identity
it
that they
took
really,
like
really
Mindy just got
enjoy
his
for a
after
while.
5 days.
so
So
we
yeah, it took
want to be
Mindy
very
because
careful
there's like
with
a whole
this
bunch of
adjustment.
drama
Of course,
stuff
because
going
healing,
on.
again, is
Ooh.
very, very
Send
strong
me an
when used
email
in these kind of
when you
methods.
can.
So again,
Yeah.
it's still lower than
That's
it was
how I get
previously,
it
but it's
sent out.
getting a nice bump in the direction that we are.
It's
you know,
just that
hoping
that
will
shit's
be
probably
a
so
little bit
far
more
away from
identifiable
us
for
being able
players.
to
So
make
it's getting
content on it.
a
It's
bump
problem.
in
Yeah,
the base of
I
the
bet
heal
it's a while.
and also the per level. Very, very small bump per level.
I
but it
mean,
will,
hey,
you know,
we have
you'll feel
Marvel
it over
Rivals,
time.
right?
And then the self heal is
Yeah,
also
next
going
month
up as well.
for another beta.
Yeah,
Which,
and actually, I
you
want to
know,
touch on something for
they'll probably take it
increased
down
healing,
again.
'cause there's a couple others
Yeah.
in this patch
Yeah.
as well.
If they want
Just
a
keep
full
in mind
beta,
that
that'd
we're
be sick.
making some anti-heal
That'd
items
be nice.
more viable in the early game with
Yeah,
a
I had a
couple
lot
of
of
tier 2
fun
items that
with
have
that.
anti-heal on them as well. So there'll be more, but yeah, we can move on to. So
Is this them
switch
trying to make
stances now.
Hell a
So
support?
before? Hell had to be this kind of could be this kind
This
of.
character's
support pick.
already a
You'd have to
support.
be
She's the worst mid
within
laner in the
30
game.
units of your allies, which is
other
actually
than
the basic
Aphrodite.
first.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very,
that's-
very
I
close.
played her in
55 is
jungle
your
the other
average
day and
basic
went
attack, so
crazy.
just for reference. So we're changing it to 55. So if you're within a basic attack range of your allies, they'll now get that effect of that. I think it's protections of power. And then now, well, previously physical gods were not getting any of that power. It was just magical power. So we're adding physical power. Obviously, Hell doesn't get the physical power herself. She wouldn't use it for anything anyway. But the
Back
allied
into the
gods around you will get that
finals.
physical power. So
Ooh.
when you're
I'm
playing,
never
in,
playing
with
that
your hunter
fucking
in the
game
dual
again.
lane, they'll actually feel something rather.
It was
than
fun
them
while it
getting
lasted.
This,
Yeah, you
They
can't
pulled
lose
the high res.
support with Hell and Afro.
Really cool changes, and yeah, helping diversify the age.
Wait,
we
what? You
offer to
can't
the
lose
team.
support?
Yeah.
So we're
Oh,
moving out
sorry,
of
I meant to be
mage
muted.
sphere
Yeah,
now into
they're
a
just
sharper
so
and more
omega
dangerous
easy
sphere,
laning phase
the
gods that
assassin.
have permanent
Oh,
mana and permanent health.
we have
When my
assassins
teammates
here.
play those gods, they lose lane
So
and they're
Fender
fucking down
is again
08.
another kind of character that's fallen off a little bit, but
They
he's
do
been
find a
great
way.
in Smite too.
Okay,
By all means, we've been
if
seeing a
you
lot
have a
of awesome Fender
brain,
play there. We
that
wanna
character's
make sure
those characters
so
are
that he's
impossible to lose
keeping
with.
up in Smite 1. And he didn't
It's
really
asking
need
a
a
lot
whole
these
lot, right?
days.
Just a
Yeah.
little bit of a bump to kind of get him moving in the right direction. And so what
Didn't
we're
we
doing here is
just
we're
go through
increasing
like
the
patches
AoE
last
damage
season
to
so we
brutalize
wouldn't
to
have those gods
75%.
play
So if
support
you're
though?
in a big group of people, usually it's really scary.
Yeah,
when they
Those
have
are a
brutalized
bunch of
because,
really
you know,
big
you do
ones
get
that
a
are
bit
like,
of
ooh, we
protections
don't
from
like
this,
healers being
but
supports.
You are locked into the
But Double J, you might
are
be able to hit
moving
masters now.
by the enemy's accord to a certain
Okay,
extent.
relax
So
there.
To be able to
Bro,
say kind of this is my
anyone
zone,
can hit
you know, if you
masters
want to
in
be
the
in the
current
zone,
state of
fine,
rank.
but you're going to take
Even Double J?
get decent AoE. Also really nice.
Dude,
I
Double
can hit
J
it with
could
my
solo
especially
queue
waves,
off roll
Yeah,
and
really,
hit
this is
fucking
kind of a
masters.
no-how to Smite 2.
I can play support
Smite 2
only
is
and
100% of the
Yeah.
damage, so we're not quite there, of course. Obviously, he's very strong in Smite 2, and Smite 2 has all different items as well, so balance is entirely different. But this, just 75%
Bro,
of the
last
damage in
night,
the AoE, just
was
a
it last
small bump
night?
from what it
I don't know, I was
was
playing with Andy the other
before. So
night,
you can, you know,
and
if you
we get in
wanted
the
to
game, and the
play
guy's like,
in solo lane, it
oh,
doesn't really
Andy,
matter,
I've watched you
or now it
forever.
won't
This is
matter as
crazy. I'm
much
finally in the
what
game with you.
minion you're using
And
it
he
free on,
plays
you'll
Bacchus
still
support
clear
and will
pretty much
not
every
use an
round of that
ability. He just
75%.
will not. He just runs
That's
around like right next to
awesome.
us the whole
next
time.
up-
Wait,
Like,
Andy
scared
or
to mess up.
your teammate?
No, the Bacchus, not
Yeah,
Andy.
clear.
I thought they were
Andy's
saying
like,
Andy's
dude,
running around.
Go
There
in,
are
go
times
in.
where
Like,
she
he's
is
just like, please
incredibly
do
popular
something. Like they just
and
do
does
play.
okay, but
Just
she
the
is
state
still
of the-
kind of
state of the
maintaining
player
popularity.
base,
It's
bro.
gone down a little bit. We've seen it trending down, especially after the lifesteal changes.
Yeah.
at
I'm
the
pretty sure
beginning of
I
the year.
played
We
with
saw
Andy
her
on his
a
main
little bit more
account.
after
His
that,
and,
but
brutalized
she's
is
fallen off
75%
quite a bit.
AoE instead of
So what I
50.
wanted to do was give her
His
a
account was
little bit of
3K
extra
more, and I
damage
got in the
to
same
those
game as him.
characters
I went,
that
yeah,
build
that
into
doesn't
the
make
damage
sense.
stance, but also
Don't doubt
something
it.
more fun for the cleanup players is being able to hop in and out of those walls a little bit more. So it's going to feel pretty nice to be able to get in there 1 second sooner.
Yeah, we just kind of wanted, we saw the downtrend in players picking cleaner and playing cleaner, so we just want to give them a little bit more so they can, you
This
know,
is a
if they're feeling
character
on
I
the
want in
weaker
Smite
side now,
too.
they're just bumped up a little bit. She wasn't performing too poorly, but her play rate was trending down, and her
I
win
wonder
rate was
how
trending down as well. So just trying to reverse that a little bit. We'll keep an eye
or
on it for
how
sure, but these
much
are for now.
more,
are very
like
small
it's already
buffs.
going down, right? The
And,
play, like the
specifically
player
for
base.
Banshee's Whale
I
here,
wonder
this
how
is
much
not the final
rapidly it
scream.
goes down
This is
if
the,
content on the game stops.
Screams
It
before the
takes, yeah.
silence. Yeah.
Probably a lot. Well, I don't know how much.
Surely it's not
So
that much
was
faster than what it is
Assassins. Now we're going
currently.
to my personal favorite.
Yeah.
area.
What if it
How
is,
much,
bro?
how
That's
much
what I'm
more can
saying.
we
It's Guardian
accelerate
territory.
it?
Starting with Artio, the leading here.
Yeah, Artio is a very interesting character because she is another
These
character
Artio
that got
changes
affected
big,
pretty
Bobby?
badly by the attack speed reduction
Like
of the
hell.
backhand.
Is she back?
Made it really, really difficult for her
sure.
to get through the early game. And she's kind of a character that you would
Don't
expect
worry,
to do
Incon will
pretty
provide us
decently
with
there
Smite
because
content.
she's
Honestly, I'm
has
interested in
access
his
to all
opinion.
these abilities, but really,
Because I'm pretty
it's
sure he
kind of
fucking
her
has hated the game for like
utility
5
and ability
years.
to keep
So
upping damage that has
I
kind
can't
of fallen
imagine
off.
he's sitting there praising this fucking
Yeah, and the
patch.
healing especially too. We're talking about how we did something for Terror in a previous patch.
That one change is insane,
I
though.
think you said it was 10.3. Might have been 10.4.
The
I don't remember.
RDO.
Early last year, so it's been
Which
over a
one
full year. We're in 11.6
The
patch.
like her
Squad's
one
healing has
change.
been
her first ability change.
Reason for it,
Or
but
buff.
Is it
as well,
insane or
the
is it
healing
nice?
before that patches was a little bit out of control, but with introducing these tier 2 items, we feel it's safe.
But
to
you
bring
mean
the
like
healing back
does
up.
it
So
break her?
Energy Surge, which
Does
is
it make her
your
like
druid
a
version
usual
of
player all the time?
Prey.
Like a top
I
tier?
do not
One ability
see how this
will
character
now
loses
heal
lane
double
past
the
level
amount that it
3
was
now.
healing before in the late game.
Like
So
as a solo or
going
as a
from
support?
40
Both.
to 100 to 40 to
Okay.
200. Remember, you can
In-
hit up
in
to
duo
3
lane, you will
targets
heal
with this. So if you
160
have this
health
at max rank, you hit max amount of
on
targets.
top
with
of
3
your
targets, that's
sentinels?
600 heal.
Yeah.
for
On top
yourself
of your
and all
pots?
of your allies. That's a
It is
lot of
really
healing.
hard.
And
to
it's
do.
on a
That is a
12
lot.
second
That is,
cooldown, that
I would be very
160.
impressed.
Yeah, so I would like to see people
And then
be able
in
to do it
solo
in
lane,
general.
it's the same
You know,
thing,
you're
except
hitting
instead
one,
of
maybe
you know,
two
sentinels,
targets if
you're just only taking damage from one
frontliners.
person and you're only
Yeah,
healing for
but generally
80.
it's just one. It's a small little cone, so you're getting this
So
200 heal instead of 300.
they just made
instead
cripple
of
meta
100.
again.
And
we
more
all
often
have to deal
as
with
well, the cooldown going down.
Yeah,
from
you're gonna have an
12
RDO
seconds. We're doing that for
sprinting
the
at you,
same
and there's nothing
for
you can
Prey,
do
which is just
except
the
CC
bear
her,
version
and
as well. So
hopefully you have
Prey
enough
will have the
CC to
same
kill her. If you
cooldown,
don't have enough
but the
Not a lot of
CC,
people
you're dead.
play that character, though, is the
And
thing.
then over to our next slide
The
of our
rules
healing.
will
We're
be-
going to life
People
tap.
really
This is
stick
a
to
3, but the
fucking
druid version.
Sobek
This is also the
and
heal per hit of
that
life
shit.
tap is going up as well. She's going to get a little bit more sustained from this. I mean, 6 per tick in the early game is kind of like not even
nothing.
one
Yeah.
archer swing.
Random
So it's going
interjection
to feel
about
a little bit
healing.
more
Have you guys
significant
played
there.
Bacchus or Soul
And
Lane
really
with
not that
T-Max?
much more towards the top
I
end, but
have,
this is
yeah.
per tick as
Shit
well.
feels
so it's going to
insane.
I was
add
playing
up
against
to
wasn't
Twig,
playing
who
the
did
best
that.
Again,
players.
you gotta be
I wasn't playing
hitting
against the best
things.
players, but I was
Healing, which
invading
is
and
always
yeah, you
the
heal a
hard
lot.
part.
You heal
She's
300
also
HP
getting
every
just
5
a little bit of
seconds.
increased damage scaling per hit, which is going to help. And then the
This
mana
character's
cost is
insane.
going to be kind of sitting in a more reasonable spot for her, especially because she is a character that swaps
Ability
between
spam,
stances
yeah.
a lot, spams
You
a
think
lot,
Andy could take
is
bear
going
stance
to be
RDO?
needing that a little bit of
Bro,
decrease
Andy
on
just
the mana cost.
tweeted my motivation
And
for
then
my
for heavy
chest workout
challenge,
today,
same
and it's
ability, just
a
different
naked
form for the
chimp,
bear
or like
form. Every single damage the same way you did for last patch as well, and the mana cost too. So just now you should be able to actually dash and use your 3 whenever you want. Maybe you buy Restored Artifact that tier 2, you spam those abilities, get that 1% mana
Yeah.
back every time, and you continue to just keep fighting as the Guardian Druid in the soul lane.
Yeah, lots of options now, especially for a character like this that has a lot of abilities.
Yeah, RDO's always been fun anyway, and you know, also always fun like that.
Especially with also
Kinda like
tier
a
2
jump scare,
breastplate
kinda
getting
like Cleano,
10%
where you're like, oh,
cooldown.
they're clearing their blue camp. Let's
Now
turn
RDO
into a
just
bear and
goes
charge them from
conduit into
behind,
tier
so
2
you're
breastplate,
instantly clearing blue,
like
and all
fast
you hear
back
is
off
an
tier 1
actual bear
breastplate,
running at you
TP
from,
back
like, right
in with a
behind.
300
It's a great
chalice
time,
and
honestly.
tier
It's
2
very
breastplate, and you
defensive
just win lane.
So moving forward, we have Sylvanas. the
Oh, you seen that body cam
Yeah,
game?
so this is just a small adjustment to
Yeah.
Sylvanas.
I have not.
We'll
I
get
don't think
into.
so.
It's like it's
But
not out
before then, we
but
gotta
like
talk
all they're
about
letting
his base
streamers, I
stats.
guess,
So,
play it or give
as a
people
character
tests
that's
to it.
relatively immobile,
And
he's
it's
got
like
some solid
you
self-heal. He's got some
are like a
healing,
real
but he
like top
just
or whatever,
is
like
a
with a
creep.
body cam running
He
through
can't
like
really
a SWAT,
go very fast,
like
very,
that, and
very quickly.
it has
so
like gun
he
recoil and
needs to be
everything.
a
But
little bit of
dangerous
extra,
songs are in the
tanky
game.
to be able to
In
deal with
it.
a lot
Oh,
of
Like
I
the
saw your
part
tweet
where-
about that.
chop him
Yeah,
down.
he has
That's
2 songs
crazy.
in the game.
He wants to
And I
grow
don't think he knew
strong
about
and
it until
flourish, not
today.
get chopped
Wait,
down.
yeah, you better be getting paid for it. What the fuck?
I mean, I don't know how it works.
Yeah,
I just know
we just felt that he was kind of weak,
I think
you
he
know,
just found out
obviously,
today.
as
Didn't see
immobile
what
he
the
is, he was pretty easy to pick
What?
off even with
That's
his self-heal.
crazy.
So
Yeah.
bring the health scaling up, you know, just 5 per level, that's not a much in the end, but it will help based on top of the
Oh,
base
you get to play
physical
Wizard
protections.
101,
will help
man.
too,
Aren't you so
I'm
and
not
then the
playing
physical
Wizard
protections
101.
per level,
What?
another 0.5 per level. So just
Are you having
being
Schmeep
tanky,
type about that?
especially physical damage.
He's not the one doing it now, but he does every day.
Bro,
Him and
him and
Tricky.
somebody else in my chat spoke,
Tricky?
and I'm not trolling, 45 minutes about Wizards 101. And it's like,
Yeah.
the spam doesn't even make sense. Like, we gotta go get the Wand of Mordor, the Wand of Maldahor. Like, what the fuck are you saying? Have you messed around with the Staff of Alderaan? Huh? What are you saying?
I don't understand. Like half of my stream plays that shit too, and I'd never even heard of it.
I knew it was a game, but I thought it was like a kid's game because I heard about it when I was like 5 years old, and my friends that would play it were also toddlers that still wore diapers. But like, I don't know, man. Schweep swears by that being like his favorite game of all time.
going to get a mana decrease to
Very
60.
expensive before. Yeah.
What about Pirates 101? You guys gonna play that or?
Very, very expensive. And then finally, the
They said
5 mana
sucks.
off the ult.
Dazzling Offensive, the ultimate.
They said
going
Wizard
up to
101's way
17-second
better.
cooldown
What the
at max
fuck?
rank, which is
Oh, wait.
very, very low.
That's the
like
ult cooldown.
gold
Why did I
game,
think that was
like
mana?
raw levels. Like, I don't know if there's a warrior that has an ultimate this low cooldown.
I mean, I think it's fun. Yeah, just get in there,
Yeah.
use your ultimate as much as possible, force those.
95 was so weird.
Disengage, heal yourself up, and when
I
they
love
don't
that
heal
Ghoul-
up, yours is only on 70
No,
seconds
you go.
cooldown. You know,
You guys want to sail the 7 seas on Sea of
Their
Thieves?
defensive ultimate is much longer than that, so you can go back in and
Andy could fight a
use
chimp
your
there.
ultimate again before they.
Oh, now we're talking.
Exciting stuff.
I wish that game had like better PvP. And I would play
So
it.
agreed,
All right, so
man.
last but not least, in this particular,
I
list,
love the
we
idea
have
of that game, and I really do like the art and like style of that game.
Yeah, so
this
again,
style looks
Horus
good.
is another character that is more of your supportive warrior, can be played over in the solo lane. A little bit more difficult too, but definitely can.
This is a
The
huge
first thing
Horus
we're doing is
change.
increasing the buff duration of Protector Surge. So this
That's
is
kind of a
protection
crazy
I
Horus
think the
change.
funniest
when
thing
Horus hops to you.
recently
Nothing
was the
really
Content
for
Creator
him.
Cup.
But it's
And
gonna
I
be
got,
nice
like,
to be able to hang on
400
to those protections
viewers,
for a
the
little longer,
finals.
so the fun,
I
fun.
went,
I don't know what that is,
Man,
Ghost.
that's like half a
Guys,
weekend
so
stream
again,
right there.
Not having a fucking
there and fly the
content
team
creator
around
in the
well.
content creator cup. Wild.
Bro, did I tell you guys
For
that
non-conquest Horus
I
players,
messaged
this ultimate
Hi-Rez
is
saying,
really hard
I don't remember
to
who
find
I
a good
messaged,
time
but I
to
messaged
use.
somebody and they
There's gonna
directed
be
me
more
to
opportunities go,
someone
like,
else
down
to like
or, you know,
mediate
maybe
between
pull
me and the
your whole
esports
team
team.
into the enemy
But I was like,
base and arena,
yo, I
you
would
know,
really
that
like
can
to
be
run a
kinda
tournament
fun.
on the second alpha
Things like
weekend.
that.
Let me know.
Definitely don't do that, but
No
Yeah.
message, no response.
You get
Message
one.
again
maybe
saying,
if you're winning
yo,
by
any
100
update on
tickets,
this?
you know,
Response to something like,
it's a power play.
we'll keep, like, I'll hit them up again. I'll let you know.
Yeah.
I never got let known again, and they ran their own tournament.
It's like, go for it. You know?
And
They took your idea.
yeah.
Does it for the
I
regular
think
round,
you
so
just
if
gotta
want
do it
things to cover those
independently.
things,
You gotta.
things,
But
you
like,
gotta do it
I needed
yourself.
to know stuff beforehand because I needed to know what was the
So, some new
weekend,
changes
so I could
here,
like
and I
set
guess
everything
we'll
up.
dive right in with-
What were
Oh,
like the
yeah,
gods
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
be
that's a
added,
good
so I
point.
knew how to do the
It's gonna be
rules.
a smaller quality of life change
Yeah.
here, but it's gonna feel nice
good lead.
regardless. Regurgitate
Wow,
is
that's-
its ultimate. It's going
Yeah,
to
it's
increase
faster. That shit
projectile
flies.
speed
Woo.
by about 15%. It's kind of hard to say because we don't, typically
I'm
share
sure these things
projectile
feel
speeds externally,
like
but just know
like
it's
are
gonna go out a
nice.
little
You know what I mean?
bit
Like
faster wherever you
oh
shoot it
cool.
to, it'll
Change,
land there
and then
a
I'll
lot
forget
more
about it. But
succinctly,
like,
so you're not being able to
I don't know.
shoot it out and then miss.
Like, I'm not trying to shit on every change here, but
it's a
oh
lot more
my
easier
god.
to
How often
confirm
are you
in
like
that
long
regard.
range spitting on
that's
Bakasura?
essentially it for Bakasura,
Never.
just
I
Most
don't
of the
think
time
I've
you're
make that a
ever
little bit
blinking
more
over your
consistent
feet.
thrown it
when
out.
you're throwing it
I don't think I've ever
further
thrown it
away,
out and like,
because
man, if
it
it
is
had been a
projectile,
little
so the
faster.
travel the distance, the further you throw it,
I
I
could
could
said
throw
that.
up half a second faster.
Like a more reliable impact on the target you were attempting
Yeah.
to regurgitate on. So moving forward, Yu Huang.
Yes, this is a very, very cool change. I'm very excited about this one. So Yu Huang, ever since his release, he has been known to have
I love
one
this
of the
character.
most difficult ultimates to hit in the game, if not
I love
maybe
this character.
number one. It's very hard to say, right? But when it comes to
Support
the difficulty of
Bakaba.
it. And so we're trying to just make the general experience of firing this ability feel a lot better.
Yeah. Okay.
It's hard to really break down the numbers here just because there's so many steps into this ultimate when it comes to spawning the dragons, firing them, the dragons fire, the explosion happens. There's a lot that goes into it, so I'm not going to break down the specific numbers for you here. The only thing that I will say is the dragon projectile. So when you actually shoot them, they go faster, but there have been other changes.
I just think he's an
to
exciting
pre-fires,
character.
post-fires,
He's a mage
going
that
in
plays
and
different
out
than
of the
most other
ability
mages,
especially.
which is always
It feels
interesting to me.
Way, way nicer now. So hopefully that is going to feel a lot better. There's going to be a lot less delay for you Huang players that are very used to that experience. It's going to be feeling so much smoother now.
Yeah, we saw a lot of good feedback from those Charybdis players of last patch when they got the same kind of change, this reworked ultimate to make it feel a lot more, smooth. Really, is the best way to describe it. So we wanted to do
still
the same
going.
thing
Do you
for
think this
Huang,
will end?
Because he also had this element of clunkiness.
I
and this
don't
will
know,
hopefully just
bro.
make it a lot more
Maybe I've
intuitive to
already
use, a lot more
died
smooth
in
to
some
use, and
some
make it
kind of
easier to hit
purgatory or
the
something.
Yeah, what a crazy
You just
thing to
throw us
say
in here with you,
conceptually,
bro.
like,
Yeah.
as somebody who's never watched or commanded two dragons.
This is your
fly
lesson.
into
You
a
have to
close
exit out of
path,
Smite
being able
patch
sit down
notes
and
to move
say,
on to the next
you know,
one.
What's
it doesn't
crazy
feel
to
quite
me
right.
is
Like,
there's been
it's weird
points
how-
like
I don't know where you
was it
get that
season
opinion
9 where I
from,
didn't
but
want to
you
play the game,
definitely know.
right? Like it'd
And
be a
we're
month
able
where I
to clean
really
up,
I even didn't play the
imagine
game for
Really,
a
it
month or
was
two.
real bad, and yeah.
But at no point was I like,
Like crazy
this
that
is
is an
it.
invisible target that you've been
Like,
able to just
like I feel
Yeah,
like
I'm like,
this
oh,
is-
and
a lot
yeah, I
happening
kind
it'll
of
get
Yeah,
better.
Sure,
Yeah.
but when we
Yeah.
got there, it definitely
the
goes a
first
lot
time I've
better.
ever
As
had this
someone who
feeling.
plays a lot of Yu Huang, we had some other
This
testers
is
come in and try it as well. And the
rough.
change is small, right? It's not going to be this extreme overnight. This becomes the easiest
not a brand new
ability
ultimate.
to hit in the game, but it still will be challenging. But it will feel a lot more responsive.
Yeah, they've
and
been
that's
over
what
the item
matters.
changes.
Awesome. Well, good stuff. So next up, y'all might have seen a teaser for this one floating in the Twitter sphere, but we have Kali getting a bit of.
Yes. Yes.
That's exciting, yeah.
This is an exciting set of changes. So
this is crazy to me that they just nerfed her. Like this quality of life change was gonna make her really good, but so they had to nerf her.
Because that'll matter in this for this comparison.
And we're gonna dive in game for Kali.
Yeah, we can show it off in game.
Sure, yeah.
She was one of the worst characters in the game, and they're like, gotta be careful.
Right now, they're getting the servers
then now
up for
she's even
BTS.
more unplayable.
In my
Oh, you
research,
can-
I'm able to.
You can
Unless
change
there's,
it while
like,
in base
anything on
now.
Dev we need to avoid. Maybe I can jump onto the dev, jump and jungle practice.
Maybe, we'll see. I can talk through it for now anyway,
Okay.
so
Talk through it.
no big deal. But yes, this is a middle of a work day. We are doing active work on the game. That's how it works.
Right now.
Sometimes that happens.
But yeah, so first of all, just think of Achilles' passive where you can go into base, click to change your armor whenever you want between your offensive or your defensive choice.
Yeah, title
now,
was
Kali
incorrect.
will be able to go into her fountain, and at any point she can left click, just like Achilles can left click, and she'll be able to choose her target at any point.
Wait, you can only
We're
change
trying
while
to
it
solve
spawn?
this issue of how
While you
Kali would
respawn?
be maybe stuck with, oh, I don't, the support is my
Wait,
target. I'm never
able to
gonna kill
reselect her
support,
target
at
while
least
in
for
base?
the-
Am I
not
not
for the next
am I
10
trolling?
minutes, and therefore my passive is basically useless. We wanted to avoid that. So now you can go into the base and choose your target at any point. Obviously, that means you're going to have your target on the god you probably most want it to be on almost all the time, especially with the second change we're going to make here. So we did have to bring the passive down.
That's what I was trying to say.
There's
She
a lot of
can
text
now.
here. I'm not going to read it all out for you, but we have nerfed the passive accordingly based on how easy it should be to target the correct target.
Yes.
And you can take away the nimble strike change if you want, because
Yeah.
again, that'll be to do with your targeting.
I mean, another thing to kind of touch on here with Marked for Death is that you're still getting this very extreme heal, right? The heal is kind of the big focus here. You get a slight advantage when it comes to killing the target, and you get a slight bonus when you do kill the target. But really, the weight that we want is the more visceral feeling of, I got this huge heal.
Yes,
versus
yeah.
I have this inherent advantage versus this target that I have all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's talk about Nimble Strike, because this is getting two kind of levels of changing, where the first effect is a brand new effect, where when Kali leaps on an enemy god, the lowest current health god that you've hit is marked automatically.
Yes, so you can choose your target. by jumping
season
on top of
patch
them.
seems
It's
exciting.
Really,
Is
like,
he
I choose
smoking
you, I'm
meth?
going all in. I'm taking you as
Who
my
said
target.
that?
You know, because you want to fully commit to that
Random
target.
person
Because you kill them, you obviously get
weekend.
the passive proc and everything like that. And Lerma, you actually posted a video on Twitter,
Yes,
right?
we did spoil this one on Monday. So.
Yeah, true. Yeah, we can check that out.
Take a
That's a massive
Show me what
change.
he's smoking,
How
man.
this ability works, so you can see. There you go. Switch to Yukong as a target. You still get the heal, and now they're marked as an enemy. And then we can go into
Enemy
base. Depending on the skin you'll
profile
have, you'll have different FX.
Yeah.
Do a little left click there, and then boom, choose your target. So that now is Atlas.
Yeah.
Yep.
So again, you can see
Cool.
Expo was a target. Now it's Yuhuang, and we can change it to Atlas. Full control over your passive now.
Yeah.
Yep, and believe me when I tell you this feels very, very nice to be able to have this level of control as well.
Yeah.
And, you know, I understand the concern as well that people have brought up where, like, oh, you know, what if I get the target that I don't really want, like I'm hitting multiple gods at the same time? Typically, when this has happened in our playtest, we've actually been very happy with how it's felt, because the target that has the lowest health is not usually going to be the guardians or the tanky people, even if they're really grouped up next to each other. They just have more health than squishy people. So if you're jumping on the pack liners, you're jumping on the jungler, and you happen to also hit a tank,
It changes
you're still
no matter what
probably
if you hit
going to
someone.
mark the person you wanted to hit anyway.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. And
Why
generally
Vulcan
the
get
person that
nerfed
gets
so
the
hard?
lowest
I have
health,
no
even in
idea.
Situations where it's, you know, 2 hunters or whatever it may be, 2 similar characters. The one that's lower health is the one you're going to be going for anyway, right? Because they're sooner to dying, sooner to getting your Kali proc passive, and so it's just very intuitive that way. So even if you accidentally hit 2 targets, generally you want the one that's low health.
No,
that's
the
one your
lowest
passive's
health
gonna go to, that's the
enemy
one
that
chase
you
after,
hit.
Get some, you know, extra bonuses for killing them, and then, you know, just perfectly, you know, in line with what Kali wants to do in terms of, you know, just choosing a target, gunning that one singular target down.
Yeah.
Then once they're dead, you switch to a different target and keep going.
And what almost helpful in a way too, because, you know, like you said, if you're looking at 2 health bars side by side, the Guardian health bar could look like it's a quarter full and the Hunter half full, but the Guardian still has more life. Guardians are just built thick.
Yeah, this is not percentage health. This is actual what is the number.
What is the number? So if you jump on that, you know, especially if you're a learning player too, you could be like, oh, like I jumped in, that guy's health bar looks lower, but it lit up that guy. I'm going to fight that guy because, like, I know that's the lowest health.
Are we
person in
still
this
on
area.
Kali?
So it's almost helpful
Holy
for somebody
fuck,
trying to
I
learn
looked
Kali
away and
because
was
you can
watching
dive in
YouTube
and
shorts
get
for
the
about
idea
10
of,
minutes.
I should
Double
make
J,
it-
this is a
Passive says
2-hour
that's
patch
the one
note
to
so
go
far.
for. let's go.
Oh my
Really
god.
cool. So yeah, lots of big changes for Kali.
One more effect though that we got to talk about.
Yeah.
This is a
that
2-hour
Michael
patch
Strike has
notes,
a
and
heal.
there is
But one
3
very
things so
interesting
far
quirk
that
about
I can
Kali, I guess you could call it
that I can be
we'll
like,
call it a little
damn, I enjoy that a little
circumstances,
bit.
Is that to heal at all with Kali's
We need
Nimble Strike,
you know, on
they
YouTube when you
needed
hold
to
the
be
right
missing
side of the
health.
screen,
So
it
if you
does
wanted
2x
to,
speed.
Let's say leap over a wall
need
and
that.
start
Wait, you could do that?
with your jump. You're not
Yeah,
healing.
you didn't know that?
And if you wanted to get a heal from a camp,
Oh,
you
on
have to
YouTube?
end with your jump, which
Yeah,
just
on
doesn't
YouTube.
feel very good.
Yeah.
I'd say as a character, it just doesn't make much sense. That many other characters don't do it that way. They we'll start with it.
That's
or
a
they
buff
Think
to
of the bright
follow.
side, Kurt. You're gonna
Change is
go
nice.
to
spend a
another
lot
camp
of time with
immediately.
Lincoln.
And with Kali, you just were missing out on this really
I
big
gotta make
part
a
of the
fucking
ability
living here,
that
pal.
you just were not getting. So what we've done
True. Wait, I
Lincoln's
forgot about that
asleep.
part.
He's asleep when I stream.
You still
I
have
forgot
that
about
missing
that
health
part.
component, so it
Shit.
still has that unique factor of, yes, you can still do this. If you know it's in your muscle memory, you'll still get some extra healing from that. But now it has a flat heal as well, so you'll be able to not feel so bad about starting with your jump.
That's right, and you can jump on multiple targets as well. You group these jungle buffs up, group a full
Yeah,
wave
you
up,
only ever get one.
and then you just get, you know, it would be 100 heal plus 10% of the whatever the highest target's health is. You could even jump on a fire giant if you get the killing blow on a fire giant with your Kali jump.
That's a big heal.
That's a big heal, right? So even with the 10%, you still get that big heal. But if they're low health, or sorry, if they're full health and they've only taken the damage from your jump, you get a small, 10% of what your jump did. Plus
Yeah, I
the
agree,
flat
Jiggy.
value, depending on the rank of your
Issue is that they hyped it up.
Well, good stuff all around.
Sorry, guys.
Lots of cool Kali changes, lots to feel out.
Oh,
So
could
yeah,
you?
make sure y'all let us know how you feel about that, because lots of cool stuff. And J-Mac, were you able to get the game sorted?
Yeah, I jumped into the dev jungle practice at the moment, so we can kind of show off the.
Wait, so
double
people are
target
so
jump.
confused about this
Well, your full
change
health
that they had to
is
show it in jungle
You will
practice.
be able to. You can see the health
Oh,
values
Jesus
on both
Christ.
of them.
Oh, and there's our targeter too.
There's a lot of votes.
There's a lot of Odins in that map.
A lot of Odin bots.
Yeah, so you can
Let's
see.
pick a random Odin.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
yep, and we're switching around, which is nice. And then if we jump, a ba-boom.
Oh, well, I killed Raw and then swapped the Chuck.
But there you go. So even if you kill a target,
Yeah,
you'll
it'll-
choose the
it'll
target
mark
that's
the
still
next
alive.
lowest target. That's
Yep.
actually a cool
I'm pretty
additional thing
sure
we've shown off there.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you can see actually because
You
you're on
killed the
surround
one
skin,
target,
if you
so
go
it just
towards
goes to
base,
the
without
next
clicking,
target
you can see you get
closest, but-
the themed click or the themed
Yes.
FX around your character.
And the other important thing to note is that you can right-click this
It didn't
target
even
just like
do
you
it
can
right.
right-click Achilles, and then you can go back to basic attacking
Yeah,
in base if you
you're
want to.
if
That's
someone's
crazy.
diving your Phoenix and you need to basic attack them, yeah, you just right click.
This
away
is
that
like
target
so
and you can
basic. Like,
attack
why are
whoever's in
we
your fountain for some
acting
reason?
like some
Or if
crazy
you're
shit
really
happened?
talented, you quickly switch your target to whoever's in the
Oh.
Yeah,
Or
Big
like that
swap.
it's
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
confusing
There,
that they
yeah.
have to kind of go through it
So, and yeah,
with
there it is,
their
marking
words
raw.
and
Perfect.
Really
video
cool.
and then talk about
And
both
of
of
course,
them.
you get the proper indication from the enemy side as well that they've been marked. So everyone should be fully aware of who is the target in that situation.
Who is in imminent mortal danger?
Yes.
Or immortal danger if you're a god, I guess.
True.
You guys have onion burgers?
So cool, yeah. A lot of changes there. Like
Is it
lot
just
of
a
really
burger with
in-depth
onions
things.
on it?
All very.
No,
I guess
it's like
quality
a
of
smash
life is the
burger,
best
but
way
you
to
like
put it.
smash it into the
Every
onions.
Yeah,
It's only
yeah,
a
I've
buff,
done that
but
before for
just a buff
Sammy.
in the
Those
way
are
that the
so
character
good.
just feels better. It's
So it's
intuitive.
basically just a
onions
burger
make
with
sense
onions.
the way that character plays.
You don't
And
get it.
because
You
is a
smash
buff,
it
yeah,
into
but-
the onions.
I mean,
Yeah.
smash burgers are
Like
better
you
than
said,
regular
gives you
burgers
better
all day.
control over
Amen.
mechanic
That's
that
'cause they get,
is
like,
to
the
that
crispy
character
outside.
anyway, so
Yep.
overall, it just feels
Yeah.
And then they're
there's
not
a-
thick
So
with like a bunch of
continuing
meat that you
forward,
have to
we
chew
one of the
through.
goodest boys of the
I
battleground.
hate
Oh,
when a
boy.
burger
This
is
is
like
the one.
big, like they
But
hype
you'll
up like it's our
probably
half
go
pound
again for this
burger.
one,
I'm like
Jim
fucking
Mac.
never
But
eating that ever.
yeah,
That
let's
just sounds
start.
terrible.
So Solid
sounds
Yeah,
gross.
hearing
Cerberus
you want to try a brand new
can
thick
sometimes feel
burger?
undoable.
No, sir, I don't.
He's a good boy, but he does
I
use a lot of
don't.
slow. It's a big, hulking,
What's worse is
massive,
when, like,
dog.
Those are like, how do you like your
So,
burger?
yeah, we
Medium?
wanted to make
It's like
sure that Solid
Yo.
Cerberus
dangerous.
because
You're
this
not
jump
supposed to do
is
that.
a
Sonic,
little
thank you for the
long to get
primer.
out
I saw a
of when
TikTok
it's
that was like the
Thank you,
perfect
thank you, man.
burger, and that
even
shit
getting
looked like it
some
was
primers
uncooked.
in the
And I'm
chat with
like,
the boy.
out of it.
that's
So
one thing with
Hey, there
smash
you
burgers,
go.
they cook through
Experience again.
instantly,
Not going
and
into
they're not
specifics
like
here because the
you can't
numbers
fuck
are
it up.
just
They still are
really, really
good.
small, number one, and number two, there's not a lot of context on this that will make a lot of sense.
Thank
to
you,
guys at
Sonic.
home. So just trust me on this one. Go try it
I've
out
never
in
had a
jungle
Wagyu
practice, you will
steak. I
feel the
kind of want to try
difference.
one.
And then finally, Stygian
Like,
Torment. This is a huge change.
Like of any kind? You haven't
Cerberus
had like.
is no longer crippled or slow.
I don't think I've
while
had.
using this
Well,
ability.
I mean, so many people
Which
are like,
means-
it's Wagyu when it's
Okay,
like fucking
we are
Walmart.
Okay, yeah,
running
it's
games. Show
not.
us what it means.
Yeah, it's not actually. Like, I would like try a real one.
Order
try
when
it.
you like feel like it. it, there's a website, Snake River Farms. They do American Wagyu.
Yeah.
So it's like
And then
not
finally,
quite.
one more thing you
It's
can
like
do.
super marbled, but like real Wagyu is like kind of like just
Ultimate
fat. It like kind of just
jump.
melts in your mouth, in my opinion. I'm not a big fan of regular Wagyu, but
you can actually
those
ultimate
are
really
the ones I
far
like a
away.
lot.
I see.
ult them on the edge of your
Oh,
ult
hot
and then
dogs.
face
Okay,
the
that
other
sounds
way and
fire.
just jump.
Yeah, their shit sells out for that stuff. Like their hot dogs and burgers and like, you know, non-steak stuff sells out fast.
So I think we measured it because Cerberus is kind of like a solo lane god.
Yeah.
You can ult
Bro, what are
someone
we
from
seeing?
basically the totem to the tower line.
They won't follow you over the wall.
So yeah,
I look away, and every time I look back, I'm like, I don't know what is going on.
He serve ulted and you can leap during it, so you're not crippled
so you
during
can
your
take
ult,
quite
but
a
like
distance,
they don't
so,
follow you over walls
If
and
you're
shit.
up against
so,
the Cerberus in the solo lane, you're safe around
Did
the
they even
totem
get
area.
launched
If
a
you're a little
further
bit too far,
like
that
distance
you're
down the
at risk.
lane?
Yeah, I
By
mean,
that
I'm
ultimate,
sure.
And then the jump.
Yeah,
all
they
the
can pull
way.
farther. Yeah, you can pull them farther.
Okay.
So like that is actually a solid change, I guess. Even though most time you're using your 3 to get in range too.
Yeah,
But it
I'm
is-
going to jump people into Fountain on Arena.
Yeah, this is actually a good serve
What's even
change.
cooler about this too is we recently did a change to Cerberus to
I won't
give
even
him
lie.
cooldown reduction
Watching
on
Cerberus
soul
all like
expulsion
17
when you,
times was like the
kill
clock
souls of
effect where it was like
gods.
putting me to
So
sleep.
you can jump on them as they're getting pulled, drop all their
It's
souls,
Smite
your teammates
noise.
kill the souls while they're also killing the guys.
Yeah.
And then your jumps back up again, baby. You go one more time.
I saw a
It's
commercial
awesome.
the other
Yeah,
night,
it's
and it was
awesome.
like for
Oh,
the
man,
call,
what a
Better Sleep
fun
call
change.
map or whatever. It's like
Better
we
Call
have-
Saul.
Changes just light me up. So
Shut up.
good
We
stuff.
have
Thank
purple
you for
noise
showing
and
us.
white noise
Yeah,
and
that's awesome. Good
brown
stuff.
noise. I'm like, okay, if the
Alright,
brown
so,
noise
you know,
makes
I'm
me
always
shit
happy to
myself,
see
I'm not
this.
listening to that.
Atlas
Sorry,
up
guys.
next.
Oh yeah.
What's my boy Atlas good?
This is a fun one.
Is that what it's intended to do?
Yes.
It might
So,
be.
in the last patch, we had a couple gods like Jormungandr, Fafnir, Bake Kujira that
You can
were
use
able to
Death's Toll
get
with Atlas
item
now.
procs on their basic attacks. Atlas was not included in that list because he required a little bit of extra help just due to
I
the
know
way
what
that his
I'm doing
basics are
on the
set up
patch.
For his
Oh,
Unburdened.
guys, fire
And,
up the
now
PTS
Atlas's
quick.
Astrolabe basic attacks when he has it deployed.
We get
in
to
there.
Basic
use
attack item
Death's Toll
effects.
Atlas.
Ah, we did it, guys. Atlas is here.
I'm looking over at JMac's screen now, and he might have a
Is that
little
Schmeep?
A demonstration.
Oh, that is
a bunch
Schmeep.
of
I
items.
thought it looked like he had a
Yeah,
tinfoil
fucking
hat
rocks.
on.
You can throw that on a wave on some gods. You get a bunch of auto attack procs right there. That's
You know, maybe not the best Atlas build, but it sure is fun.
it is fun.
It's,
Yeah.
it attacks fast. That's what matters.
That's what
Like-
matters.
Indeed, and it costs mana, so keep that in
They're
mind.
talking about
too.
like it's fun and they're adding these cool fun things.
So yeah,
But like
Fun.
there you go.
it actually pissed me off
alright,
so
well,
much
I'm
when they
happy.
removed
We could've showed
Horus's
everyone
ability to
else
crit
this
with
was
his
fun
one,
talking.
like that ranged auto.
All right, so moving.
That was fun.
This is less
Like,
of
they've
a
changed
individual
so
god
many
thing and more of
things.
a happening across the board type
And like
thing.
Janice
So,
alt one-shotting you in base,
ability
like why
items
was that ever
with some
changed?
additional proc, it
Yeah.
looks like.
That's like a
so we
fun
did
thing
something,
to go
again, very
for.
Similar to this. In the last
Yeah.
patch as well, this is
That's
more
my most
focused
viewed
on
Smite
actual
video. Well,
abilities
second most.
that did not proc item effects before.
What, where you removed your two
Yes,
ribs
it
and see how
does
deep
not,
you could get it?
It's not our intention to let
Well-
every single ability in the game proc items. Some, whether it's due to increased technical limitations or just due to game balance concerns.
No.
I'd
are
watch that
not on
YouTube
this
video.
list. There are, it's a possibility in the future we could do some additional investigation when it comes to the
So
technology or just other, balance measures that we could put in to adjust certain characters that are not in this list that don't proc. But at this
This is
point, we're
bringing me
feeling
back
pretty
to the
good about
fucking-
this list. It's
we're talking
not
about
to say that
edible
we will
glue
never
that one
ever
time.
change them again. But this is kind of the.
I still stand by edible means it should be
eaten.
eaten.
At this point in time.
Yeah.
With this, but
No.
to look at this list in more detail, we've got
No.
Cthulhu's
It
Scepter,
says
which
can
is
be
his kind of
eaten.
initial
Doesn't
slash
mean
He thinks
should be.
edible glue
and then Chernobog's Heart
is
of Cold, which
is
is
edible
the
or like
explosion
you
there.
can eat it
Pele's
and it won't
Magma
hurt you.
Rush,
I'm
And you're
saying
saying
edible
if it's
glue
edible, you should
means
breath,
you
and then
have to eat
Shivalonke
it.
is a branching
Like, that's the
that are
point of
all
it.
able to
That is such
for
a bad
variety
take.
of
That
different,
explains
damage and
so
healing effects.
much.
Yeah, we came up
Okay,
with
I'm
some
not
really
saying
well.
I
As you
eat
can see,
glue.
Cthulhu
I'm
I don't-
saying
you were really
100%.
phrasing
some-
it, so like you're
It
setting
kind
it
of
No.
up
does
like
like those abilities in
I'm
all
saying-
three
Glue
ways
is
you
so
get down to
tasty.
If
Pele,
Elmer
Maman,
sold
and
edible
I eat it by
glue-
the
kind of use those
stick.
abilities all the time.
If
Shavonke
Elmer
is just
sold
basic
edible
attack
glue,
bonus. Maman
people
can
would
cancel
buy
and-
it to
and
eat it.
start her party trick whenever she wants.
No.
Similar with Pele, so those had to be
Yes.
much
They
lower
just let their
values, but
kids use
the
it and not
important
be
thing
worried
is,
about them
well,
downing the whole
damage is-
bottle.
damage and
No,
healing is
man.
important too.
You think
But, like,
toothpaste is
Magma
edible?
Rush and Party Trick will now
It is
proc
technically
brawlers
edible,
or
yes.
Divine Ruin, and Shablon
It's not intended to be eaten.
I suppose, with his branching bolus.
No,
So
but
you
it's
get those-
edible because you
the
still
Crusher,
consume
Heart
some of
Seeker,
it when you brush
you
your
get those
teeth.
effects.
Only
even
if you're
it
an
doesn't-
idiot.
If they're just damage effects, yes, they're reduced down to 25%. But if they're anti-heal or Gem of Isolation
wanna
on
gag.
Brigitte, you can proc
I
that
wanna
whenever you
choke.
want. That's still the full amount. It's just the damage.
Oh, you
and
hit
healing
that
that's
little
reduced.
swinging thing that swang in the back of my
A lot of new
throat.
effects that can, that you can work those other blocks into for a lot of diverse gameplay. That's really, I feel like like the theme of this mid-season is like items or things are being shaken
We've
up
hit
so much.
how many hours are we at, Bobby? 9 hours into a Bobby stream?
Dude,
be a lot of cool.
I was doing so well. The first 7 hours were a breeze. This
were
last 2
9
hours.
Yeah. Y'all always figure out.
Yeah, it's officially the
Here's
9-hour mark.
I played 6 hours of ranked. I did an hour of NFL trivia, and then I did 2 hours of patch notes.
To see that. So last but not least,
We might go for 3 on patch notes. I'm not gonna lie.
I might slam my head through my desk, breaking the rest of my setup just so I don't have to watch 3 hours of
this.
This
is our final
Bobby,
bit
what
here,
account did you play on?
There are some
Inbound.
abilities in Smite that cannot be fired all the way into walls, over halfway into the wall, because it will cause XYZ issue. It could be
Okay.
a number of things where, you know,
I'm gonna agree with you, Kurt.
right, you can't jump
There's
into a wall,
no
you can't
way
place things like
that in the
deployables or
history of the
walls
Smite
into
patch
walls
notes,
up to a
they've
certain
ever
extent
touched on
because of
this
how
much
they,
stuff.
you know,
If
push
there was
people
ever a
in.
patch
Some
notes
of
this
these
big, they're
are
like,
more okay for a
yeah,
variety of other reasons,
we'll
but I'm
talk about a
just
few
gonna
of
go
the,
through list,
the
and all of
biggest
these you'll
ones,
be able
but
to
the rest
fire
will be in the patch
into
notes. You can go
walls
read
if
those
you want,
later.
but you really
Why
shouldn't.
the
The
fuck?
ideal feeling is that if you are next
Are they
to a
going
wall
over
trying to
every
hit
single
people with these
ability wall
abilities,
collision?
You are no longer going to have
At-
that big of an issue when it
2
comes
hours
There's
and
something
19
going
minutes
on,
into this
bro.
patch
close
notes.
to the wall.
Right.
or
There's
just
something
online.
going
You can
on.
overlap
This should have been.
ability
This is
or
a
any of
change
these
that should have been
abilities
done like in
into a
season
wall
4.
and still hit
Bobby,
them
I'm
with
looking
the
at your
X, right?
rank
If you
games,
were
and there's
previously,
no
let's say,
way you had
Scotty
fun today.
permafrost, if you
I
had put
don't
your
have
target
fun
over
ever.
50% into a wall, you couldn't throw it at all. Right? So if there was an enemy right by a wall and you were just trying to throw it on them quickly, you couldn't throw it on them if you had that target in the slightly wrong
What were
spot.
the gods
Now
that I
you
played?
can
I'll
target
tell
it
you
anywhere in
1
the
to
wall.
10 how much fun I had
Obviously,
in
you
that
don't wanna
game.
put it on outside of the map. That's not gonna hit
I think
anybody.
this might be your
But
first
it's
game.
gonna
Your
be much easier
Naja
to hit guys that are standing right
solo
next to
or something.
structures
Bluestone
or
Naja, was that
walls.
today?
That was yesterday.
Yeah, let's just
Okay,
run through
so
this
did you
really
play
quick.
Zeus
Of course,
first
we've
today?
got Scotty,
Yep.
Permafrost is
Okay, well,
free.
that was a surrender at like
Poseidon
5
released the
minutes.
Frank
So
That was a
wasn't
1 because
fun.
it was a surrender because
Officer is
one of their guys
Regurgitate,
left
which is
before
his
he even
ultimate.
died a single
So
time.
Bonus is basic attack,
Sigil
which is a
Baba
big one.
Yaga?
You can now fire these
I had no
over
fun. I did
walls
no
as well,
damage.
and right
It
next to
doesn't
walls,
look like
and
it.
it's really helpful
11 and
for
11,
Phoenix sieges,
Mom
tower
and
sieges,
Bruget.
things like
That game was
Sigil
fun.
game.
really nice.
I actually had fun with that one.
On
That
top
one's
of
an
that, we've
8.
got Ishtar Strike
I
Shot,
would at
which
Merlin
functions
9 and
very
2. I would have
similarly.
said that
That's
was
the
probably your
log
most fun game of
Jigways,
the day.
Persistent
It was
Dust,
whatever.
Bombs
I
and
just
Top Honey,
farmed and then
Ray of
one-shot people
Banish,
late
and
game.
Mirror's Ice Wall
Anubis 6 and
are all
2,
the
but
abilities that are
another
getting us
surrender. You
past
only had
this
2
wall,
items.
and
Yeah.
so
One item.
They feel really nice now
3
to be
and
able
8
to not
Vamana.
have to worry so much
It
about
was so
opponents
boring.
being
Look
able
at
to
you see my
man.
build. Look at my build.
Jesus Christ.
Janice 3 and
Wait,
5.
look who was in that game. Incon was in that game, and he was. I'm pretty sure he's upset at my build because I mentioned Stormseeker, and he said, "I need at least one person on my team trying," because Ocean certainly wasn't trying either in the jungle.
We did it. So what a long show it's
in the
been,
jungle in Atlantis.
Yes.
What is he doing?
First and foremost, thank the both of you.
When you get in a game like this, you just gotta fucking troll too, dude. You just gotta go with it.
That's a lot.
There's
You
just
had dashboard as well, dude. Okay, you know Yarsland was raging.
no. Yar was the worst player. Look at his damage and look at his build. He was the reason the game was so bad.
And then thanks to
He
y'all
went
for
on
coming
Anubis
and hanging out
ADC with me
us.
last night. I'm pretty sure we carried him.
It's been a crazy.
He
crazy
trolled.
6 months so far.
When he's mid, he plays like a beast, but I guess he can't play ADC.
He was top pick, and he picked ADC.
right?
Yeah.
Go ahead and wrap it up. First of all, y'all already
that
know
is a
PTS.
villain.
Y'all
Write
already
that
know
down.
PTS on the way.
Keep your eyes out for that. Hop in, start testing.
Yo, you
some of
staying
these
on for
things,
some
start
PTS?
devising new builds from the past.
Fuck no.
Next Tuesday.
Make it a
And
12-hour
as always,
stream, you
let us know how you
pussy.
feel, or if you bump into
No, we're
anything,
going to
whether
dinner
you're
with
on
Matt
Reddit, in
tonight.
Discord, on Twitter, wherever.
Thanks
All
for
let us
inviting
know
me.
how you feel about
You
things.
literally
That
live
is
in
the
buttfuck
easiest way for us
Florida.
to make the game
Okay.
the best we can for y'all. So make sure to check out PTS soon.
Look out your window
asshole
right
Florida,
now.
thank you.
Yeah, look at that fucking palm tree out there.
So much for last weekend. Like,
I will.
As
It
we
looks good,
continue to
too.
iterate through Smite 2,
Yeah,
an
it's
alpha.
probably
That's not an
humid as
excuse,
fuck.
But that is what it is.
It is.
You probably got
94 out.
sand. You probably got sand at your front door.
And it's changing in directions that y'all are pushing it.
Oh,
in.
it's only
Y'all are
90
really
out. It's
helping
only
us
90.
drive towards whatever the final product's going to be. So
All right, I
please
installed Smite.
continue joining us for these alpha
Big.
playtests.
I'm gonna go eat and hang out with family. Have a
Oh,
good
it's
night.
over.
Have fun dinner. Yeah, it's over.
Whether
Thanks
it's
for watching
positive
with me.
or
See you
negative or
guys.
whatever, like, we
Later.
really do
Bye-bye.
appreciate all of it that you give us. So thanks again.